Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that we playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick.
Indie pick!
Stu story time and Chinny's game.
Actually, we don't do indie picks
Here comes
anymore.
Duke with the soundbite saviors.
We have Play My Game, bitch.
Veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Worst podcast ever.
Yeah, boy.
I smell like pee.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Listen, I don't have time to play with the phone here. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done.
Hello and welcome to episode 798 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 798, what up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And that voice you heard earlier was Stu, because he's in a big rush, so we got to hurry up and get done with everything. But we are not military
Always.
veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
We are indeed. We are indeed.
Yes, we are indeed.
798, guys. 2 weeks to go.
No, we don't have time to talk about it. We got to move on.
We've got a little bit of time. We've got time.
Do we have a little bit of time? Okay, I
A
thought
little
we
bit
were...
of time. Little
Okay,
bit.
good. I can tell my story then.
May the 3rd.
Yeah.
Eight-
It should have been.
Our 700,000th show.
It should have been Star Wars Day, which would have been brilliant, but unfortunately, someone can't make it on Star Wars Day.
I can make it, but my wife is
Yeah.
out and about.
May the
That's
fourth
okay.
be
We
with
don't.
you.
You know what? Every day is Star Wars Day if you love Star Wars. You don't need to be told. It's like Pi Day. Oh, 3/14. You know what? I celebrate Pi Day every day, or I would do if I didn't have high blood pressure.
And of course, if you do celebrate Star Wars, then you should get
You're a
checked
nerd.
because it's stupid. May the 3rd, 8:30, we're doing a live show. We want guests on.
Yeah, we are.
We need people to show their interest, so email in, Discord in, pigeon letter
Yeah.
in, whatever
And-
you want to do.
Yeah, be a
However you
part of
wanna
the
do it.
excitement, people. You can be on the show with us.
Yeah, so that's May the
exciting.
3rd. It's
we
a
have already
Saturday
got-
night.
We have already got a guest confirmed.
Good
Oh,
stuff.
sweet.
Guest confirmed is Dan. Dan is coming on, he says.
Yay.
Dan Fletch,
I like Dan.
Fletch,
Fletchmeister General.
who, as
old
we
Fletch.
speak, might be about to be a dad. It's
Yay.
it's literally happening today, as far as I know.
Wow.
Awesome. Good luck with that. Hope it's all going well, or went
So-
well by the time you hear this.
Yeah, it could be Wembley.
I doubt he's listening. If it's happening now, I doubt he's listening live. That
No,
would be ridiculous.
people-
Wait,
people
honey,
do.
honey, just have your birth. I'm not telling you not to give the baby
Wait,
out, but you know,
Stu's playing another stupid game. I've got to hear about
I've just
it.
got to
Yeah.
hear about this live.
No, people do it. People do it.
I know, but not when they're
uh,
giving birth.
No, Feng Shui. When his wife was in labor, he took his mind off it by listening to us. It actually a thing. It's a thing.
Wow. I mean, it's a way to take your mind off things, but I don't know if that's
Yeah.
for better or for worse.
So Dan, if you're listening now, I hope everything's going well. Good luck, and you'll be a dad
Yeah.
very soon. Very
That's
soon.
right.
Oh,
Yeah. All right, real quick story time
My
here.
favorite time. It's story time.
And that's all the time we have for that jingle.
Yeah, it
Yeah. My students in Amnesty International arranged a meeting with the state senator for Wisconsin in our area, and we met, and it was awesome. I was very proud of those students. They did a lot of awesome work preparing ahead of time. This one kid made slides, so he made this whole presentation and stuff. Yeah, I was just really proud of them, very happy with the work that they did. And the state senator was very gracious and kind to us. And she said it was a great meeting, and she really appreciated meeting all of us. So yeah, it was awesome. And then we have another meeting in a week and a half with the state representative, and we have to go to the state capitol, meet with him. So we're on a roll, man. We're getting these human rights voiced. We're telling people what we want to see.
Very good.
So,
very
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was good.
Now something important. So I've finally.
I see what you did there, and I think
know,
it's
it's a-
cute.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that you're ignoring me.
I'm not
yeah.
ignoring you. I'm silently seething, except I'm
know.
not silent about it anymore.
No, you're not.
Fuck you, kids trying to fight for a better world. Nobody gives a shit. Kiss my ass. You
Idiot.
can just
Well,
say it like that if you want.
Yeah, this is important stuff, though. This.
I got
So-
it, Frank. Go on.
So I finally got enough money for my gaming laptop. I said I was saving up for a gaming
Yeah.
laptop.
Ka-ching.
So I've ordered one. I have
Sweet.
ordered.
What are the
top of
specs, man?
line.
What kind of
Right, here we go.
GPU does it have?
Are you
What
ready?
oh God, I had to ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, you asked. You asked.
Yeah, I did ask. Go ahead.
So it's got a Intel i7 processor.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah,
So i7.
7's good.
32 gigabytes of RAM. So it's got a shitload of RAM. And
Yeah.
a RTX 4070 graphics card in it.
Oh, sweet. Those are good for AI.
Yeah. So this is, it's pretty sweet, man.
That does sound like a good setup.
And
And Shinny has a
terabyte-
Kit Kat Chunky, which he needs
He
us
does.
to know about. A
And I've
terabyte of
got-
what? Of RAM?
a terabyte SSD. So it's
Usually,
got
cool.
around,
Terabyte of RAM,
usually on
then.
the Easter show, Stu, we both eat eggs, but you can't eat nice things anymore, can
Well,
you?
I've got a Lint Bunny.
You've got a limp bunny. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I've gone for the Lint Bunny tonight. So yeah, there you go.
And I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Look, little bell.
Yeah, I believe you.
So yeah, so it's ordered. It's coming tomorrow. So I am slightly excited.
And by the way, in case there's any listeners out there who don't recognize good chocolate, Stu does not mean he has a bunny made of like lint that's like dusted off the floor. Lint is a company
no,
that makes
that
chocolate.
sort of lint. Oh,
Right, that's what I wanted to clarify in case anybody out there was an ignorant boor.
Yeah,
who,
exactly.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
by the way, the main reason I've got these sort of specs is not for gaming.
It's for Wicca.
Is it for
It is.
Is it for
It is.
Bitcoin mining?
It's not. No, it's for. Chini was
Should be doing
completely right.
Bitcoin
It was
mining.
for wicca. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am going to play games on it as well because why not?
Real games are for old people.
But to do real-time stems, which is a thing now, I can do it on my desktop PC, but you've got to have at least 16 gigs of RAM, but recommended 32.
And if you get hired for a
stem
gig, you got to be
separation.
out there with the laptop ready to rock. You can't be doing that dragging a PC.
Yeah, stem separation.
So
But
it's
it's 14
mobile.
inch. It's nice. It's got LGB backlights on the keyboard and all that jive.
Oh, sweet.
It's gonna be nice. So I
A
will
keyboard, huh?
report. Yeah, exactly. I'll report back next week. Yeah, I could have rainbow colours.
You're right, Stu. That was more important than a bunch of kids meeting us.
It was. Of course it was. Told you.
Suck it, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pitbull
so-
Wilco in the chat says, "Hi or Happy Easter, everyone."
Hi. Happy
Ah.
Easter.
Antonio says, "Big love to you all." So I'm guessing Antonio isn't a dad yet because he's due to be a dad very
Nope.
soon as well.
He is due to be a dad soon.
I'm assuming Antonio will be on the 100th show, all being well.
Hopefully.
So hopefully. So
I'll give him an
Antonio-
early shout out right now because that's my dog.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
We had some
Shout
Rocket
out.
League. What? And it was awesome. It was a really fun few sessions. So I see you. That's my dog right there. We had he was nailing it. The last game we played, he got like 5 goals in a row. He was killing it.
Wow, that is impressive. Mind you, he's a good player, isn't he?
That's
Not that
because
you're
he
not.
was. That's because he was on the European server. But whatever, it's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Right, shall we talk some games? Because I want to get
I
into
think we.
this week.
Oh, Stu's ready to get into
I'm
it.
raring,
Where are
ready
you
and
going?
raring.
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
First episode of the new season of Last of Us, pretty good. I think they added some stuff, didn't they?
Don't know, not watched it yet.
Oh, okay,
So,
fair enough.
I'm
Well, I think
gonna
they added
do.
a little stuff. So.
My
gonna
TV's
do.
broke.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah, Shoegate.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, because Rosa broke it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, what are we playing? Who's going first?
You know, I'm in a funny predicament at the moment.
Oh, do tell.
You are a funny
am.
predicament. Oh,
I am.
Yeah.
See what you did
A
there.
predicament.
But yes, I'm in a funny predicament because I currently have 3 games that are vying for my attention that I like all of them.
Dude, that's like me all day, every day.
I know. And it
You don't
doesn't
know what to
happen.
play when you sit down.
I know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
3 games, and they're all fucking good. You know, when you're just like, wow, I don't know what to play. What am I playing now? And then I'm like, oh, I should play a bit of this one as well. And oh, I want to play that one.
I know
though.
how you feel. I mean, I can't relate to that because I see 3 games on your list, and you know,
Why
2 of
don't
them
you
are good.
start with the one that you think is least likely to be the favourite?
Okay. Okay, probably South of Midnight. You know, it's a close call, though. It's close between that and Atomfall.
Yeah.
Because I like both of these games. I really do. I And I've played quite a lot of South of Midnight this week
Oh, good.
because I was in last week, and this week I'm really in.
Yeah.
So I'm like in.
This was
in.
our Play My Game Bitch last week. We all played it. We all liked it.
Yep. This is the opposite of
Stu's-
out. I'm in. You see what I did
Okay.
there? In, not
I
out.
assume that's a reference to something. that I'm
Out,
not
out.
familiar
Yeah, don't just no, just Stu. Don't.
with. About
I'm not
hemorrhoids
even-
and pustules.
I'm not even gonna go there. Just look up out stand-up comedian.
Now, if you mean out, damn spot, Lady Macbeth's famous soliloquy at the end of the
No.
play, then I know what that is. Oh no,
no, look up out
no,
comedian,
I'm not gonna look it up.
and it's good. It's worth watching.
Nothing
It's a really
personal.
good show.
I'm not
Anyway.
looking it up.
So anyway, yeah, South of Midnight. I'm a fair way in.
Yes.
I'm a fair
Cool.
way in.
How many hours have you played? Would you say?
I reckon I'm getting on for 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Mm.
You know, I'm getting there. This game doesn't waste your time. It doesn't. It's a good game for not wasting your time.
Yeah, I felt like it was pretty efficient.
Yeah, and you level up pretty quick. It gives like I've got another new skill now. I've got Crouton. Did either of you get as far as Crouton?
Is that the
Nope,
little-
but that's the name
is
that
the little
Diane
s-
gave a cat she adopted.
Is that a little sack thing?
Yeah, it's like a little sack boy thing.
I saw
Every
it.
game's got them now.
And Crouton can get into small places that you
sick.
can't obviously get
Nice.
to.
Like Yorda in Ico.
Yeah.
Well,
and what's go on? Sorry.
You hated the combat or thought the combat
Yeah.
was bad. We posted a
It's-
TikTok video about it.
I did.
Stu.
I saw that. It's still not great. It's
Yeah.
still great. It's improved slightly with Crouton. Crouton's helpful.
Okay. Does
Uh,
does
because-
he get involved in the combat?
He does. So basically, Crouton becomes a bit like a parasite. So if you throw him at an enemy, he takes the enemy over and then fights as that enemy for you on his own.
Nice.
So
Oh,
you don't
I
have
see.
to
And then
do
lives-
anything.
And then lives in the enemy's basement and then like
Yeah,
buys
it does.
his time.
It
and,
does.
yeah.
Then he lays
That's
his
for you,
eggs
Antonio,
inside the
you're welcome.
enemy. Yeah, so he sort of he adds a little bit of another dimension. But I'll be honest, whenever I get to combat, I just want it to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know
Is there
what I
no
mean?
story mode? You could just turn off the combat?
No, there isn't.
okay.
You can make it
But it's not-
easy,
it didn't-
easy.
Yeah, I assume it's not too taxing, so.
No, it's fine. It's just so rinse repeat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
sure.
mean? They keep adding extra enemies in, but they don't really seem that different from each other. It just makes
Also,
it
by the
slightly more-
way, and according to How Long to Beat, you're halfway done.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's a very long game.
Yeah.
But that all being said, the lore, the story, the presentation, the art direction,
Yeah.
the voice
Yeah.
acting,
Yeah.
the dialogue itself is all top draw. And it's such a shame, about the combat. Not that I'm not bothered. I'd have been quite happy not to have the combat and maybe have puzzles instead.
Which is insane.
Right.
Which is
It's
what-
not
what
insane.
an
It's not
insane person
insane.
would say.
It's not insane. And I think I would have been happier with that. I genuinely do.
Well, you know how we're a viral sensation. The video that what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? You know,
How are you defining viral?
well, the video
40 views.
the video that we posted about South of Midnight has got 339 views.
All right,
and,
that's
and
semi-moderately viral.
not for
yeah.
TikTok. Anything below 1,000.
No, it
is
isn't. It's not great.
Right. Well, yeah,
Uh,
sure.
And 11 likes. So it's we're pretty big deal over here.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, some of the videos on there, quite a few of them have got over 2,000 views, haven't they?
Yeah, the one that I posted about the Switch 2 when you're
Hmm?
slagging it off.
Yeah.
Most of the videos are clips of you slagging things off.
Which is testament.
That gets
Guys,
engagement.
You
It
know.
does.
Which is why I'm here to say I hate this video game. Every video game. I'm just
No,
gonna
one
say
of
I
them.
hate
One
it.
of them is of Duke slagging something off. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I
now.
felt like I was picking on you too much, so I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
well, let's pick on Duke. And I only picked the clips where I'm saying.
And there's
something
one of
really
you
funny.
slagging something off, isn't there, as well? I think in there.
Well,
amongst it.
I don't know. Yeah, I sort of slag off the GTA trailer a little bit, don't I?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
But yeah. So we're pretty.
that's
we're,
on Game Pass now. GTA.
we got 113 followers, so we're a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal.
Yeah.
13.
Maybe if we did more dances. Put that on TikTok.
Yeah, maybe that's
I
what
won't
we
be.
need.
No, I won't be putting that on TikTok.
Should I shake my butt more? Would that help?
It won't help.
Yeah.
It won't help.
Yeah, well, they definitely won't.
Trust me, I know.
All right, South of Midnight. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's cool. The traversal's great. I like the way. I'm not overly keen on the chase sequences either.
Yeah.
So I've done 2 boss
You're
fights.
a runner. You got to run.
Yeah, I guess. I've done 2 boss fights now, and they're both they were both kind of cool actually. But again, it was like hit the red glowy bit.
Yeah.
You know,
That's fine. I don't mind that.
So again, fairly simplistic. So nothing too taxing. But to an extent, that's fine with me because I just want to get
that's
it
the
done.
thing is I don't mind combat that's like attack the thing and make it die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
We're
it's
playing
not
video
Souls-like,
games.
but that's okay.
We're playing video games, Stu. This is what I'm about.
And I don't
Yeah,
always
this
want to
wasn't my
figure
tab.
stuff out with a boss fight. I just, it's bigger, it's got more hit points. Okay, fine.
I don't want to bloody walk into like 15 rooms and work out what the fuck I've got to do.
Would you wait? I was being patient. Jesus.
We haven't got to that
Sorry.
yet. Just
Sorry.
But you can
Stay
get
calm.
your slagging off button ready. 'cause
yeah, you stay
It's a
calm.
I
I
Just,
don't want to
you
listen
just
to all these pretentious
hold
pricks
on.
talk about this game.
You
And
just
then
hold on,
and say it's the
man.
game of the year. And then I'm walking around
Oh,
like, this
God
is
damn
this
it.
is
It's
the
a
game.
fucking
Hold
slow
your
year.
wa-
You
Yeah.
are intentionally
This is it.
not looking at other games.
Yeah, I
is
guess
it.
Guess what that TikTok video is gonna get when you put it
Yeah.
up of you
This
slagging
is,
off
fine.
blueprints.
this is it. This is what you
How
will
did
go
you
of the
know?
year.
I
So-
wasn't talking about blueprints. What are you talking
No,
about?
I don't,
I know what
I
Chili's-
wasn't,
I know
no, I
what
was
is
talking
that?
about some other random game.
What?
Well, we'll see. We'll bloody see.
Anyway, South
Anyway.
Midnight.
So,
South Midnight's great. Yeah, I'm really loving it.
Okay.
I'm
Great.
struggling to decide what to play.
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Glad you like it.
Cool.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, good
Yeah.
for you.
Cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
All
it's
right.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I've been playing Delta Force. Well, I played a little bit of Delta Force. I haven't been playing it. I played it last week, and then I decided not to talk about it. So now I'm going to talk about it now.
What is it?
Yes. What is it?
So you know Battlefield?
Yes.
It's basic. It's like that.
Ooh.
But it's free to play, and it's apparently filled with like Chinese and Russian hackers.
Sweet.
Of course it is.
It's pretty chaotic. Why do you say of course it is?
Well, because these free-to-play games quite often are like that, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, sometimes.
So what's
Anyway,
how do they
the problem is that the developers are not doing enough to deal with the hackers, apparently. Now, I didn't encounter anything I thought was hacking-like, but anyway, it's a little more open than Battlefield. It feels a little less connected to vehicle dominance. Like, if you play Battlefield, by the way, I just recently realized there's a kind of a team deathmatch thing on Battlefield, and I played it, and I was like, oh, this is why I find it so much more enjoyable, because I'm not being killed by a fucking tank every 5 seconds. You play Battlefield, and every time you turn around, there's some tank killing you, or there's a fucking helicopter dropping fire on you from the sky. And, if you like driving the tank or flying a helicopter, it's your game. But I'm a foot soldier, so anyway. Delta Force, it's fine. It's good. It's just, it's like why eat hamburger when you can have steak? You know what I mean? I have Call of Duty. I have Battlefield.
This doesn't have tanks or helicopters.
I mean, it might. I
It
didn't
does
play
look
it.
like
enough to-
someone's floating in the air there. There's a health bar in the middle of the air. So,
It's a Russian hacker.
That's the case.
is that what
Yeah,
it is?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I mean,
just
there's
some
all
dude
sorts of reasons
flying.
why that might be, but
Yeah, nothing to do with
it could be
helicopters.
somebody on top of a building very far away.
No,
but
no,
anyway.
no. There was a a health bar in the middle of the air.
I'll take your word for it. After 3 seconds of footage, you can. Anyway, so it's fine. I got some kills. I died a bunch, which is exactly what happens when I play Call of Duty and Battlefield. I think if you don't have those other games, then this game might be cool to mess with. Like I said, it's free, and
If you'd have said
it
this is Battlefield 20,
Yeah, you'd have gone.
25,
Yeah,
2042,
it's-
yeah.
I would've
Sure,
been like,
sure.
yeah, that's
you
fine.
wouldn't know. It's got reviving, which is nice.
It's
'cause
got
I'm not
reviving,
very
dude.
useful.
Why didn't you say that first?
Yeah.
But the reason it matters to me, and it might matter to other people, is because I'm not very useful in terms of getting kills. But if you fall down, I can get you up. So it's nice to have additional use to the team beyond just,
You
soaking up
good
bullets.
moral support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Just
You know.
G everybody up.
You
Yeah.
can do it. You can snipe that guy.
Come on.
I believe in you.
You
Keep
can
doing
do
it,
it.
and I can
know
throw
you've
health
got
at your
it in
feet.
you.
Yeah.
And but here's the thing: Battlefield has this like health gun, which I've gotten pretty good at it. So it's like I'll revive somebody and then run away from them and then shoot them with the health gun and be like, "I haven't forgotten that you're at low health, buddy. I got you." Anyway, Delta
But
Force.
did you have
free
fun?
game.
Did you have fun? That's the main-
A little bit. Yeah. It just
Stu,
felt.
we don't play games to have fun. That's not.
I do
know.
play games to have
That's
fun.
not the way.
I just, I felt like I could have given it more time, but I didn't. And there's no real reason for it
Okay.
other than, again, like I could be there were little things, and I don't remember specific ones. I don't think I wrote them down. Oh yeah, Battlefield clone, not bad, but meh. That's what I wrote down. So, I was like, I should just be playing Battlefield, which
That
I
should
did a
be-
little bit this week.
That should be the advertising slogan.
Mm.
Yes, it should.
Battlefield clone, not great, but meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I wrote but not bad, but meh.
Oh, not bad, but
Yeah.
meh.
Not bad.
And it's
but
got a
meh.
bow and arrow, which looks pretty cool.
It's got a bow and arrow. I mean, I can't imagine ever getting close enough to somebody to kill him with a bow and arrow,
So
but you do
like
you.
Battlefield, not bad, but meh, with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit wordy now. It's a bit
Yep.
too much.
Yeah.
All right, Chinny, what have you been
Chinny,
playing?
what do you got?
Avowed. I played a little bit of Avowed, but not much worth talking about. Are you in the third area still?
I don't know. I don't know where I am.
I don't know what area I'm in.
I ain't got a clue. I just go to the quest and it goes, do this,
Yes.
and I'm like, all
Yeah.
right. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying to work out the plot. So, basically, this little hairy woman says, like, oh, we gotta go to that, and then we're like, all right, let's go to that, and then we go to that, and then there's 3 ghosts there, and the 3 ghosts are like,
Yep.
oh, we've seen people like you before. You shouldn't have come here. You got to do the 3 trials. And I went, all right, I'll do the 3 trials.
trials.
Pissed them, right? I was like, that was your 3 trials? Fucking hell.
Bring the real
How
trials.
long have you been
on.
around? 1,000 years, and that was the best you could come up with. And you sort of get to the end and they're like, oh, we didn't really think you'd do those. Like, I suppose you could leave or probably kill us, and we've been alive for like thousands of years.
I mean, we didn't have anybody who's ever completed the 3 trials before.
No, that's
so.
what they say. It's like, oh, no one's ever really done that before. I was like, so I did those, and I
You
killed
put the
them.
circular peg into the circular hole. How did you figure that out?
Yeah, it was a tile-based puzzle. Yes, so I did that, killed them, and they were gutted about that. To be fair, being dead, they seemed really pissed off about it. And then we got out of there. It was filled with Dream Scourge people, which is basically zombies.
Yeah.
Got out of there, and you have to make a choice. What seems like quite a big choice.
Yeah.
It's basically like that area that you went
He's
into.
got a heartbreaking decision to make about whether his best friend lives or dies.
So there's this person that keeps coming into the game, and she just looks evil. You know, she has
Is
fire
this Fireface?
Fireface, yeah.
Fireface. I know
Lodwyn,
her.
I think. So,
Okay.
and she's
Fireface.
like, we should blow this temple up, and the other person is, like, we should do some magic jizzery. I don't know what it is, right?
Oh yeah, magic jizz.
Yeah, magic jizz.
Yeah.
Put some magic jizz
Wow.
on it.
Wow.
So that will get rid of the Dream Scourge in this area, but we will have to sacrifice some people to do it. Right?
goodness.
And then but the evil fire person was like, no, we should blow it up. No one will die, but you won't cure the Dream Scourge, which means eventually the Dream Scourge will come back and probably kill thousands. So it was like that
Okay.
couldn't, do you kill a
That
couple
doesn't
of
sound
people?
like a good. Yeah.
Or do you
Doesn't-
kill
so,
like
so
a
take the easy way, a short term, or the big, big
Yeah.
painful way, but
Yeah.
you get it permanently.
yeah, you kill a
fixed.
few
Gotcha.
dozen people, and but you,
Yeah.
you all kill no one. But later on, probably everybody will die.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, we'll just kill a few people. Like, who gives a shit, right? So like, so you
As
kill,
long as they're not me.
you kill a few people, and like a few people in the army that you stand in, like around, they're all dead, and everyone's like, oh, they're dead. Oh, okay, whatever. And that's where I'm at the game. It's a bit of a slog now, I will admit. Like I am chugging my way through it. But it's
Yeah.
still good. Like I still do like it.
It's a
but-
good slog.
Yeah, it's a good slog. I do. It doesn't really feel like it's throwing a lot of surprises at me, and I feel like the game is hanging on with its story. But the problem with the story, as we all know, as I've said multiple times, is that a lot of the lore is boring. I don't understand it,
Yes.
so I really have to just break it down in my head, which
Yeah.
I've done for you today. Is like go to a thing, blow it up, or put magic jizz on it. And
Magic jizz.
yeah.
I'm liking the magic jizz.
So I have to sort of
prevalent.
like just keep it simple for myself to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But the gist of
See,
it
and that's
is
that's the paradox of a story. If you up your own ass with your story, you're doing your readers and your listeners, at least a lot of them, a disservice, because a good story will carry a game, as we saw in BioWare's Golden Age. And they're trying to do that here, but they take themselves way too seriously with the lore. And it means that players like you and me, Chinny, are just going to be like, I'm not following this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And therefore, the game just becomes go through the motions of, you've had the fun combat, the exploring is kind of fun. Those things are good, but the story really ought to be pulling you forward.
Yeah, the combat is really fun. I do enjoy the combat.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So I think you'll probably get the same thing that I'm getting from it, Duke, where okay, like the story is a bit like who cares, but it's so fun to go through this world. That I'm enjoying it, and the characters are good fun. The characters are interesting, and someone who probably takes a little bit more from character and story than myself, Duke, you'll probably enjoy that part of it. I feel like the four companions that you have are all interesting and fun. Yeah, so
That's cool.
I'm enjoying it. I've definitely slowed down on it. Some of that is just life and the way that goes, and some of it is me just being a bit like, whatever.
Well, it's the game not saying, hey, this is going to be worth your time. Again, that's one of the things that story does, is it says, hey, you want to come back to this. You know what I mean? When we played Portal 2, even with all the awesome, elegant puzzles, you wanted to find out what was going on in Aperture. You know what I mean?
What was that really up to? What was it up to?
Exactly. So I think that's a really good example of a story combining with beautiful game mechanics. And a lot of games only have one or the other of those.
Yeah, I think I don't think I'm near the end. I think there's still quite a bit of game left. But if the game ended in my next playthrough, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it will.
Sure, yeah. I hear you.
But no, it's
will either.
you know what, for value for money, polish, RPG, open world-ish, well, open zone they call it, don't they? So multiple zones that are open.
Yeah, it's a good way to put
it. Great stuff. Great. Like there is no fault to the game other than it's just going on for ages, which could you really pick on it as a fault? Like it's not that big of a fault, really. But
well, not that part, but the fact that the lore is not told in a more concise way.
Well,
I think is a fault.
you could argue that with a lot of big, like every Assassin's Creed. Like this, I've heard Assassin's Creed Shadows is ridiculously long, and you know, and other games.
Oh yeah, if a game's bloated, then that's a flaw. But just because a game's big doesn't necessarily mean it's bloated.
It's good. It's the right type of long, I suppose. It's but I could,
especially if you make an interesting world that's fun to explore. Like I think it's good to make it very, very big.
Yeah, and every nook and cranny that you go into in this world is like you're always rewarded every time.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah, agreed.
So whatever.
It's not always something very valuable. Like okay, here's a plant.
But here's a chest. Here's a something.
Yeah,
or sometimes you'll see a plant and you're like, how do I get to that plant? And then there'll be like a dead body there, and you're like, oh, I can loot this body. There's always a little something that you can like get from it. So great stuff.
Agreed.
Love it. Happy to be done with it soon, hopefully.
Sure.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm never sure whether that's a recommendation or not. Like, happy to be done with it. You know what I mean?
Well, like Duke says, at some point you want the show to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
at some
it's
point
true.
you want that film to end. You want to know what's happening. You want that game to end.
Yeah, and if it's in a sense dragging on, it doesn't mean that the game, the movie, the show, experience is not good. It's just that the Office, the U.S. Office, should have ended when Michael Scott left.
Correct.
But they kept going with it, and as a result, the show as a whole is degraded. It's still a great show, but that last part leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yep.
And I wish they would have done it a different way.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
So there you are, Avowed.
Talking of games that are streamlined and don't fuck about with your time, Atomfall is that very game. Atomfall is that very game. Although it has got some very interesting mechanics. Very interesting. Like, for instance, normally with a skill tree,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you open a skill, then you open all three on, like, say, one skill bit, and then the next tier opens to you, doesn't it? It unlocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in this game. Not in this game. So you start off with the basic tiers,
Yeah.
but then dotted...
Because you're sad.
Because so. Dotted throughout the world are then the extra tiers that are like blueprints, if you will. So you have to find them in the world to open the rest of your skill trees.
Can we just say schematics to this week to
Well,
avoid confusion?
Let's
just call them schematics.
It's not really though, because it is your skill tree. It's like how you level up your character.
I know. I just don't want people to get things mixed up.
Well, they're not going to, because I think I'm being fairly explanatory.
I don't know what a
Fair enough.
schematic is.
Yeah, the
Okay,
schematics.
well, it's basically
man,
a
you just
blueprint,
confuse-
but because we have a game called Blueprints, I thought we could save
Nah,
some
it's
confusion by
fine.
referring to these as Okay,
It's
never
fine.
mind. Go on.
Fine.
You've got schematics, or you got blueprints
you-
for your skill
you do-
tree. Yes.
Yes, but you do, but they're
Okay.
not really. It's just that you pick it up and it's like a piece of paper, and when you read it, it then unlocks extra
Okay,
stuff
so like
in your
a
skill
skill
tree.
book.
Skill paper,
Skill paper.
documents, skill
Okay.
documents. How about that? Does that make
Documents.
skill
Yeah, that's great.
document?
Skill documents.
But you don't have blueprints for like pipe bombs, Molotovs, and all that sort of stuff. So you have those as well.
Yes.
But what's quite interesting is I got the upper level of the skill tree
Ooh,
before I got the
yeah.
middle level of it, which is a bit weird.
Uh-huh.
So I
That's
could
weird.
unlock.
So could you leapfrog over it?
Yeah. So I could unlock
Wow,
those
okay.
skills once
You
I've
got the really good stuff, and then you go back and get the mediocre stuff later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a bit
Interesting.
weird, but then you don't need to unlock the mediocre stuff. But then they are all different, so they do all do different things. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I've followed quite a lot of the trail now, and what I've started to notice is some of the quest lines like overlap with each other.
Okay.
So I spoke to the woman in the bunker who then directed me to the helicopter crash where the woman had disappeared and gone to the village to see if she could find friendly people. I then followed her to the village, found the document saying she'd been taken by the soldiers and put into the prison by the soldiers are there. So I could go and rescue her at that point. Then I found the key to the church cellar, went in there. Dude in there is also a doctor, and he also tasked me with saving Dr. Garrow. So I've got two separate quest lines. with the
Everybody
same-
wants her saved.
Yeah, same end outcome.
Yeah. By the way,
and-
this game also 10 hours according to How Long to Beat.
Yeah, I don't think this is very long at all. Again, I've played 7 hours, and I do feel like I'm getting close. What's interesting about this game, though, it's one of the they're like factions, but not factions in so much as the end game is escaping from the quarantine zone. Is as far as I can tell, that's what you're aiming to do. But there's probably 4 characters who can assist you in that goal. So I'm assuming there's a different ending for each, deciding, depending on who you side with and help out to escape is obviously that's what you'll get for your ending. But I don't know. I'm fairly progressed in all of them, so I'm not sure at the moment who I'm going to go with ultimately to escape the quarantine zone.
Go with the sexiest one. That's my
Maybe,
rule of thumb.
maybe.
Like if I have to choose, I'm going with the sexiest person.
I know that I'm getting towards the end because I've found out what the mystery's about. So what's caused the accident?
But you're not going to tell us, huh?
No, of course not. Of
Oh,
course not.
man, now I'm never going to know. Unless I go online and look it up.
So I know that. Do you know what? I totally recommend playing this game. It's so tight. It's so slick. This again doesn't fuck with your time. It's not messing about with your time. Again, you level up pretty quick once you find stuff. I've opened the interchanges it's kind of like fast travel, I guess. But the interchange is like the hub in the middle where like all the scientists and doctors were. And you have to find all 3 doors to the interchange, and then that unlocks each arm of it, if you will. So once you're in the interchange, you can go then to any of the 3 main playable areas from there. And the village is kind of a hub world as well. So the village and the interchange combined are your 2 kind of fast travel locations, if you will. Sure. Although you still have to walk everywhere, so nowhere's ever. And there's always druids.
Somewhat fast travel.
Yeah, somewhat, but it's not really. It's more like shortcuts. It's
Okay.
not like a shortcut through the interchange.
Yeah.
But the only issue is there's always bandits, druids,
Oh,
outlaws.
fucking druids.
Yeah, you've got to always fight your way out once you go down a different branch because they always
Do
spawn.
they like re-up? They respawn as soon as you leave the area? then?
Yeah, they're always respawning. What's nice though, there's things called thralls, which you get in the interchange.
Guillermo.
Which are fucking rock. So like to kill a thrall, one of them I had to shotgun in the face about 7 times.
Wow.
To kill it. They're not particularly difficult. They don't move very fast. They're easy to get out of the way of. They do a lot of damage if they do manage to get a hit on you. They don't have weapons. So it's just a case of avoiding them and just slowly picking away at them until you kill them. Much better with a gun than a short range weapon, because if you get close to one, they do a lot of damage to you.
Fuck you up.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
So I was glad I was maxed out on shotgun cartridges when I met one. Well, I met a few. On one of the missions, I had to fight about 4 of them. So I used a lot of ammo to get rid of them. A lot. But they are pretty tough. Other than that, mostly, I mean, I've set the difficulty level to easiest, so fuck knows how many times you'd have to shoot one on normal. Because I've got to shoot one in the face 7 times on easy.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine how much ammo you'd have to use to kill one in normal mode.
Dude, you should be paid overtime for that.
I know. Normal enemies, I tend to go hand to hand. I tend to stick to. I've got this really good like machete type weapon, and it's pretty good. 4 or 5
That's not hand
hits.
to hand. That's hand to machete.
Well, I guess. If they have guns, I just do a bit of weaving and bobbing and just hit them. So that's what I tend to do. Again, combat in this game very simplistic. I mean, if you had to criticize it, it'd probably be due to that. Due to the very simplistic nature of it.
I remember it being quite hard. I played it on the normal difficulty. It was quite hard.
Yeah, stick it on easy. It's fine. You know, I'm
You
just
stick it on easy.
Well, I do. I'm more interested with getting through the story than being bothered about challenging combat.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not particularly enjoyable combat. It's just like Duke's favorite.
It ain't
sort
no
of combat.
Avowed.
No, it's for Duke's favorite. Hack, dead.
Yeah.
Without any
Beat
magic.
them up till they die.
Yeah, no magic involved.
Yeah.
The guns aren't great. Most of them, you're just aiming down an iron sight. There's no proper sight, so there's no reticle on the screen to show you where to shoot. You've just got to aim down the iron sights and hopefully hit them in the head.
Hope for the best.
Sure.
Hope for the best. And they're all, most of the weapons are single shot as well, so you're reloading a lot.
Oh,
So you're
man. You should be paid
constantly-
overtime for that.
Yeah, constantly reloading your weapon. I have got an automatic pistol now, so that's a bit more helpful. But
Sure.
it's not very powerful, so it's like and then reload, and you can shoot lots and lots of those until you kill an enemy. But again, story, sense of place, dialogue's all right. Dialogue's fine. Voice acting's fine. Overall, it's a big thumbs up. I love this game as well. I have 2 out of 2 this week. Loving them.
Good
Had to
stuff.
hear it.
Back to you, Duke.
Yes, back to me. But first, I will let people know that in the year 798, it was the Battle of Billington, and King Erdwulf of Northumbria defeated the noble Minwada in battle, who had killed the former king Ethelred. So
Oh yeah, King
there's
Gathel.
that. Yeah, sure. Core Keeper is something that I'm still playing. I've actually kind of oscillated between Avowed and Core Keeper this week when I was done with my Rocket League. And I should mention I played some Rocket League with Antonio. It was great. Yeah. So anyway, nothing much to report about Avowed. I've been doing some of the bounties and the leaving the stuff at the grave sites.
Oh, yeah.
So, Chinny knows what that is. There's nothing much to say about it. Core Keeper, however, I've expanded. So I read some reviews of Core Keeper, and they didn't fill me with a desire to keep going with the game, to be honest, because a lot of them talk about how the combat's kind of wonky. Now, the good news is that I found a much better weapon. So whereas I had been doing, like 50 damage every time I hit somebody, now I'm doing like 150. So the monsters that I used to have to hit 5 times, now I hit once and they're done, which is very nice. So yeah, the crafting is nice. I really like the crafting in Core Keeper. It's very deep, and apparently at a certain point I will have automation. So all the mining that I'm doing and the exploring and the transporting of stuff back and forth, that will get a lot easier once I can build. It basically becomes kind of like Factorio at a certain point, which I'm very happy to see. I'm surprised I haven't found more bosses because I'm trying to do, the map is all black, and then when you explore stuff, it fills in those areas.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like spread out from the central starting point
Or just
in a
trying
way
to
that
paint your map.
Yeah, exactly. But I've only encountered one boss right now. I mean, I actually saw a second boss, but he
Buggered off.
like apparently some of the bosses move around.
Ah.
So he
So he
was
did bugger
moving
off.
from one place to another. Yeah. So that's weird. I guess I'll have to like find out where he is. And it's funny because I'm looking at this person playing on the screen now on the stream. And first of all, his health is like a third of what the max is. And I'm just like, oh God, get your health up, dude. What are you doing? But he's also set up a very, very large base. He's cleared away a lot of area and built a lot of stuff on it. And I have like a small room with all of my, crafting area and my chests. So it makes sense to make a bigger base. I really should make a bigger base, but I'm just like, who has time? And it's also the thing of like, in Minecraft, once you have a decent sized house, I never saw the value of making a bigger house. You know what I mean?
No,
like
you're not
that's
doing-
if
you're
that's
not
your
doing it
project,
right.
okay.
You're not doing it right.
Yeah, I guess.
You want rooms to
I
go
just-
to rooms to go to rooms.
I mean, I guess I would rather have like a place for my stuff and crafting because you don't need like a living
No, you
room.
don't go to
need...
the rest of the house, but it's there.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I have other projects I want to build, so I
You
I
know
just
it
need a base.
exists. You know it exists.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever. To each their own style. I see this person's very large base, and I'm kind of jealous of it because it's like, ooh, they got a really good setup. But the idea of spending time making this very large base, I'm like, ugh, no thanks. But that said, I'm having fun with it. It is. I think part of it too is that you can I got the farming thing going on because I realized that there are certain foods that are better than other foods, and I recently unlocked health potions. So it used to be food to regain hit points when you die or when you get low on, you get hurt. But now I've got health potions which instantly refill, half your health meter or whatever. So that's very nice, which means I need to grow a lot more of the ingredients for those potions. So I really need to step up my agriculture game. And apparently there's like cattle and, farm animals that you can have on your base. And I don't really know why that's good to have, but I want to do everything this game has to offer, so.
Well, surely you can.
I'll
Can you
explore
get
that.
milk, meat?
Maybe. I have all the meat I need because I go out, I fight monsters, they drop meat. So I'm not really short of meat. But maybe it would be better food if I had more meat. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, it would be easier
anyway.
than fighting monsters if you're farming it, wouldn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, but I gotta go find them bosses. So And when you fought the last boss I fought, like right near him was this like teleportation spot. So that's very convenient because right now I have to take the mine cart out to wherever I've built the mine cart rail and then walk from there. But if I had teleportation spots, I could teleport and then explore around that area. And that's a nice thing to have. So, I wish there was a little more guidance in this game. It is very, very just like, here's the world, now go deal with it. Which is fine as far as it goes, but there are certain points when it's like, it becomes like a bit of a grind. Like you don't know where to go. So that's the one criticism I have right now is I wish there was a little more, I wouldn't mind a couple of quests, like go here and do this. Cause that way it would direct me to a spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's
That
not
said-
for me. It's not for me.
That's
But,
fine.
Yep. Each to their own, isn't it, really?
Each their own. Yep. All right. Chinny, anything else or should we?
We got to get into it, I'm afraid.
Are we getting into it?
We're getting
Ooh.
into it.
Okay. Let's see what all the fuss
Duke
is
has
about.
gone. Duke has gone.
Has he gone? What the hell? Why is Duke gone? What is happening? It's
Uh-oh.
usually me that freezes up or loses connection. We'll carry on though. Yeah, so
Hold on.
for whatever reason Duke was frozen.
Duke.
He hasn't texted yet, has he? He hasn't WhatsApped. Yeah. So what are we gonna do?
Oh, hold on.
Hold
Blue
on.
Screen of death.
Uh-oh. That's not a good sign.
Have you got any other games to talk about? You.
I haven't. Really. I only played 3 this week because, I've got 3 good ones that are keeping me busy. It's what do you want to do? Do you want to do emails now and then we'll talk about Blueprints if he comes back in?
Yeah.
Shall we do that? It's a bit weird. Sorry to the listeners. But
They
unfortunately,
don't care.
Duke has disappeared in the middle of the show.
Yeah, let's do an email while he get back on track.
Hopefully he'll just be able to boot up and come back in.
Yeah.
Well, let's do an email because I've been told off, Mr. Mike Chin.
Oh, what you been told off for?
I've been told off because John Collins is not a happy chappy.
Go on.
He says, Stuart Fowler,
Yeah.
stop it. Get some help.
What have you done?
Have
Is
you
that the
got...
subject line?
That's the subject line.
Damn.
Subject line. So he says, have you got a problem? Do you know who I am?
Uh-oh.
John, not Joan.
Oh, right, yeah. You keep doing that.
I know you think you're having a laugh, trying to be funny.
He
but...
does try and be funny a lot.
I do try and be funny. But
Doesn't work.
I'm not a 90-year-old woman, or 91-year-old woman even. There's no need for that. I find it rude and disrespectful. Pack it in.
Pack it in. You've been told.
I've been bloody told, haven't I?
You've been told. Got told
I don't
off.
know how I feel about this because, it's only a bit of a laugh. It's such a bit of a laugh, man.
Well, yeah, but it's somebody's
to
name.
be fair,
Somebody's name.
I know.
Stu
I know.
Flower.
I know. Well, I used to go to our school. But to be fair, in my defense,
There's no defense.
there is a defense. It came about because in my stupid brain, because I'm like old, I kept seeing Joan instead of
Yeah,
John.
no, we
because
know
it-
why you. We
yeah,
know
so
why.
you
that's
know,
happened.
it's my problem.
Yeah, but like
You know what I mean?
you must have realised on the first read that his real name isn't Joan.
Yeah, I
And
did.
then-
No, I did.
And then you
I did.
kept on saying it.
It's because I keep on seeing it.
Well, luckily there's no silly thing you can say about my name. Is there really?
No, there isn't. No, nothing.
It's
Nothing.
perfectly.
So, luckily,
it's
in fact,
untakeamicable.
it's my daughter who tends to do that more than me, because she does call you Chin Chin Chiru. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah.
She does do it. She does do it. So, John, I'd like to apologise, but I'm probably not gonna.
This is why we don't get new listeners, Stu.
And why we don't retain any of the ones we
No.
got. But, I will respect what you're saying, and I promise you I won't do it again. How about
Okay,
that?
that's all you can do.
That's all I can do. So, Anyway, he says, I went to visit my dad this week, who's into his flight sim game.
Mm-hmm.
Oi. He was showing it to me and asked if I wanted to have a go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not really into that, to be fair, but said, go on, I'll have a go. I got on the runway, couldn't take off. He said, you will when you pull up. I told him I was pulling up, but he's playing with inverted controls. And he said, you don't play with inverted controls because you're an idiot. Who plays with inverted controls? Right, well, it's the only time I ever do. What about you, Mike?
Well, on a plane game, when you said
Yeah.
pull up, I would go down. Yeah.
Yeah, you pull
But
down,
I
don't you? That's
never,
standard.
I hate inverted controls on first-person shooters and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But
Yeah, that's awful.
If it's
Ups
flying,
up and downs down.
If it's flying, yeah, up, yeah. that
Because
is-
you instinctively know if you were in a real plane or whatever,
well, in the
you
movies, they
pull-
always like they're pulling down, aren't they? I
you
suppose?
pull back. Do you
Yeah,
pull
you
back to go
pull
up?
back. Yeah,
Push forward to go down.
Yeah.
Which makes sense when you think about it because you're pushing forward and the nose of the plane's dipping.
I agree.
guess.
I agree with Stu, which is hard
Yeah.
for me.
And flight stick, I have a flight stick, so when I played it, I had a full-on flight stick and everything.
Well,
Yeah, it's instinctive. You feel if you start pushing up to go up, it just feels all kinds of wrong. It just doesn't feel right. It probably feels less wrong on a joystick, I suppose, on a joypad. But on a proper flight stick, it just feels very odd if you did. Yeah, it just feels completely unnatural. To
Duke's
do that.
back.
Oh, that's
I'm
good
back.
news. Good news.
Hello.
We just did a quick email in between while we were waiting because we can't miss Duke out on the Blueprints chat.
I appreciate that.
So John, what I would say is, on this occasion, and I think both and Mike are both in agreement here, it is inverted controls for a flight
For
sim
a flight
game.
game, yeah.
Yeah, it
Sorry,
is.
John. I'm usually
Sorry,
if
John.
my mate plays
Sorry, John.
Call of Duty inverted,
Yeah,
I
that's just
I
weird.
was disgusted, but
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
flight game. I
What about
think,
you, Duke? Do you agree or disagree? So basically,
you know,
I was gonna
Rocket
say-
League's the only game I play the controller with, and I don't think I have it inverted. So
who
no.
does? Who does on the normal?
Hey, if it's what you're
circumstances?
used to, like that's the thing. My dad once taught me how to draw numbers, and he taught me to put a slash through my 0, but I quickly said fuck that. But he did tell me to put a line through a 7, and I started doing it when I was a kid. And now, if I tried saying I'm going to stop doing that. I'm just going to draw 7s without the line. I can't. It looks so weird. So the brain gets used to certain things. You know, they say that adults who try to use diapers if they don't have to, you know, to pee or poop in your pants, we can't do it. Like it's just we're so used to doing things a certain way.
Oh, I bet
Yeah,
I could.
So
I
I
bet
think
I,
that's
I bet I
probably
could do it.
that's the case here.
I bet I could adjust
don't
to
Go
that.
prove it right now. Stand up and show us the urine spreading through your pants.
I bet I could adjust to that lifestyle very
No,
quickly.
do you know what? It's like when I was in hospital,
Yeah.
I made it my mission because they stuck me in a tent because they thought I had COVID or whatever when I didn't.
Just
and
to
I
shut
made
you
it-
up, really. They
Just
just
shut me up.
This
And,
guy put him in the
I
tent.
made it my mission not to use a commode.
Hmm.
So what I used to do was hold it until
I
everyone
had
were
no
either-
idea it was going to go here, people. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for bringing it up.
I know, sorry about that. Until everyone had gone to bed, and then I would ask the nurse if it was all right if I went to the toilet as long as I put a mask on and all that kind of jive. And that's what I did. That's what I did to and I was very proud of myself when I came out. And I
You know
never
what they
used...
say? Pride kills.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Killed me holding poos all the time. Probably wasn't the healthiest thing to do.
Let's talk about blueprints while Duke's
Well, we've still got
PC
Duke.
has on blue screen.
My computer, for no reason, had a blue screen to death, but it rebooted quickly, and I'm back up, and it's all
Yeah.
okay now. So
Oh,
I hope
whatever.
it's just because I didn't turn my computer off for 2 days. But anyway, here comes the play my game, bitch.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch! Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection. This week in Play My Game, which is where we all play the same game, we are playing on Stuart's suggestion a game called Blueprints, Prince. Get it? It's like blueprint,
get it.
which was described to me as having been inspired by Myst, the classic puzzle game.
And
And I'd like to start our discussion, if I
Oh,
may,
here we
with
go.
a sound clip from Aziz Ansari, who was once describing his relationship with MTV. He wrote for a show on MTV, and then he briefly digressed to talk about the general stuff that MTV airs on their network.
Awesome, man. It was so cool. However, I gotta say, some of the shows on the network, not really my cup of tea. Mainly because I don't like huge pieces of shit in my tea.
So when I say this game is not my cup of tea, I wish it to be understood that that caveat goes along with the claim, not my cup of tea.
So Blueprints is getting a lot of people are saying game of the year, best game they've ever
Yep.
played. You've
Which
got
is
to play it.
ridiculous.
You've got to play it for 2-3
No, you
hours for it to click.
No, you don't. No,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
no,
totally
you
do.
don't.
Yeah, you do.
So
First of all, to be clear, this is not a puzzle game. I thought it was going to be a puzzle game a la Myst. The Room is a puzzle game in the tradition of Myst. This is a roguelike room assembly game.
yeah,
No, it's a puzzle game.
What's the difference in your mind, Stuart, between a room assembly game and a puzzle game?
Because the rooms link together via puzzles.
Not when I played it, they just
Well,
had doors between them.
No, they don't. Well, you
They
obviously
don't
didn't
have
play
doors
it,
between them? Oh shit,
or-
did I play the wrong game?
Or you just didn't understand
So,
it.
what I've heard, Duke,
Oh, I didn't
what-
understand how
no,
brilliant it is, Chinny.
No,
Did you
no,
understand
no,
how brilliant
I
it
didn't
is?
say how brilliant it was.
what
I said
I've
you didn't
heard-
understand how the puzzles work.
what I've heard
obviously.
is there is a moment while playing the game
Yeah, there
where
is.
you realise, oh, hang on, there's something else going on.
Oh yeah,
now,
there is.
now I'm on the camp of you, Duke, where I played this about 3 times, and I've tried,
Yep.
and I'm like, I'm waiting for the click, and it ain't clicking. I'm just building rooms and going through them and picking up little gems. And
No, you're drafting rooms, Chinny.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm waiting for that moment where, like, because everything in the room is a clue to this, and I'm like, I don't know, I can't see.
There's two very early puzzles that you both presumably have come across, or I would like to think you have.
The box.
Which is the boxes in the parlor, and they always change, so they're different every day, so you never get the same.
Yes, with the lies
puzzle.
and the truth and the
Yeah.
attorney thing.
So there's always
and you
that.
get gems from those. It was very rewarding when I got some gems.
And the billiard room.
Because
puzzle.
listeners, you have to understand that in order to enter certain rooms, you need enough gems.
You do
not all,
keys.
not all,
Or
rooms.
keys,
Yeah,
or
but
steps,
Well,
or gold.
It depends. The rooms
Yeah.
where you need more gems and are nearer to a room to the
Right.
the antechamber or whatever it's
The
called.
which is the end goal, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
That's what you
which
gotta
which
find.
I've got to twice now. So I have got to the
Awesome.
antechamber twice, but I still don't know how you get in it. So I've built around it. Two of my runs lasted over an hour. So two of my runs.
How many runs have you done?
Oh, I'm on day 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
Maybe about day 9.
Oh, and by the way, listeners, each room has a rank, and some rooms you get steps when you go in them. You have 50 to start with at the beginning of each day.
Yeah.
So you can eat stuff that gives you steps. You can.
I'm guessing you're not
yeah,
feeling
go
it, Doug.
I'm shocked. I must admit, I'm shocked. I am a little bit
Okay, well,
shocked.
I'm just hoping that your shock does not turn into contempt or hostility.
No, not
because
at all. For instance, do you understand why certain doors are blocked? Do you know why that is?
Because
I assume that if I kept playing it, I would be able to figure it out. However, what I wrote down here is, well, first I wrote, roguelikes feel like the developer is saying, our game isn't fun enough if you only play it once. What if we made them play it 20 times? Now, maybe that's not fair. I know that roguelikes aren't my thing, but the fact that I was kind of getting into the whole process of like, okay, I have to kind of explore these different places and stuff. And then they said, oh, you only have 50 steps. And that's early on. And I was like, oh, that was very disappointing.
No, but then did you hear what I said? So two of my runs lasted over an hour with those 50 steps. It took me an hour to get to where I got to.
Right. So presumably, well, let me finish with what I wrote down, and then I'll tell you what I looked up. A lot of it felt like artificial barriers. Now, there's reasons why there are going to be artificial barriers. Every game blocks your path.
So,
however,
okay, just, and I'm sorry to keep stopping you there. Do you think they're artificial barriers because the doorways are blocked, or do you think it's artificial barriers because it gives you a room with a dead end?
well, I recognize that there's both in the game, and presumably I would be able to figure out how to have doorways that are not blocked.
Yeah.
However, in Myst, I would come upon a piano in a spaceship and be like, ooh, what is this? And be fairly certain that before long I would figure something out about like, oh, here's the melody I should play on that piano. And in Myst, spoilers, there's a library with books that I could read and figure out how to play the piano. Now, look, it's possible that if I kept playing this game for 5 hours, I would, as Ginny says, have a click that makes me fall in love with it. And it's probably fair to say that I didn't fall in love with Myst the second I started playing that game. I remember being a little frustrated with some of those puzzles and the fact that, the chair with the stars, you sit back and you see the stars through the dentist chair, whatever it was in Myst. That wasn't very easy to figure out right away. And that was kind of frustrating. But, I wanted to explore in Myst. A lot of games make me want to slow down. Return to Grace is a good example of a game I was trying to get through, and I was kind of annoyed that I couldn't just move through it more quickly. And then it presented me with certain things in the dialogue that made me stop and go, maybe it is a good idea for me to slow down. In this game, it felt like I was just going from room to room looking for shiny shit. Where's the coins? Where's the keys? Where's the gems? Where's the this? Where's the that? And obviously that's not the way you're supposed to play this game.
No.
So it's possible that my disposition was
okay.
wrong, but it's also possible that it's designed in such a way that just bugs the shit out of me.
No. What this game rewards
No,
is...
it's not. Okay.
No. Are you just going to butt
That's
in
my
every time I
opinion.
make a point?
Well, I said maybe the problem is my disposition, and maybe the problem is this game is designed in a way that bugs the shit out of me. And then you said no, which makes me think like, I don't know what you're saying no to.
Well, you didn't let me finish my sentence, did you?
Okay, go ahead.
Now, what this game is a game that rewards experimentation and just curiosity. For instance, I mean, I'm going to give a bit of a spoiler here for one of the mechanics that you obviously haven't realized.
Okay.
You know, when you press the right trigger, and I don't know what it is on a keyboard because obviously I'm playing with a gamepad, and it brings up the blueprint to show you what rooms you've discovered so far that day.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen that mechanic, but I'll take your word for
So
it.
you haven't seen the blueprint at all, where it shows you the rooms that you.
Are you talking about like the overview map of the estate?
So
Oh,
it's like a big
yes,
blueprint
yes.
with all the
Yes,
rooms
okay,
you've
yes,
discovered.
Yes, yes.
Now, if you look at those rooms, what you can do at the same point is when you sort of open a door, for instance, you know, and it gives you the 3 choices of rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can press or bring up that blueprint, and it's superimposed at the side, which you can see this guy on screen is now doing. Then you can see when you put your next room down, you can line up doorways with what's already on your grid.
Yeah.
So you can then start to plan stuff more effectively as you're making your way through the house. But I'd have thought, I mean, I figured that out pretty in the first day, maybe the second day, that was a mechanic and that was something you could actually do just by messing around with what was available. And I was like, there's got to be some way why these doors are blocked. And then it dawned on me, the reason the doors are blocked is because you're building a room onto a room with a wall next to it. So the doorway is against the wall of another room you've already set in place. So you've got to plan very much effectively. You will come across, like, for instance, if you come across the library, for instance, there's another one, you can hire out a book that will be there the next time you discover the library. So the next time the library's in its rotation in your grid, when you get to the library, the book you've sort of taken out of the library will there. And the book I asked was for a guide to how to play the game, or not a guide to how to play the game, but tips and tricks for the game. And then when I got there's a whole comprehensive, this is what this does, this is what this does, if you get this room, this is what. And so it does do some hand-holding if that's what you want, but it's still part of the discovery. And there are puzzles that I figured out by gaining objects. Like, for instance, there's a commissary, so you get like a shop where you can buy stuff to help you, like metal detector, a spade. But one of those things is a sledgehammer. So so there was another thing that I got where I could ask for the sledgehammer to be there the next time I go to the shop, and then you can break through the blocked doors.
Through the doors, yeah.
So there's lots of stuff within the game to help you along. Have you both done the billiard puzzle with the dartboard?
No,
I have not.
Yeah, have you done that, Mike?
No.
No. So I'm just so shocked. I'm so shocked that you guys didn't give it enough time.
I'm not
I
saying
think
that
I gave it enough time.
It's not a game
ahead,
that
Shinny.
you can just play day one and that's enough time, because it certainly
I
isn't.
played 3 days.
Okay.
What were you saying, Chinny?
I'm not saying that I hated it. I'm just I was making fun at the start. I'm intrigued, and I've done I've done 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
But it just felt like I was getting nowhere.
And I did the same. I'll be totally honest with you, but you've just got to persist.
I know, but like,
because the more you persist, the more interesting it gets.
I don't know whether I should
and the
reward the
more stuff
game
you
for being
figure out.
lame at the start, though.
Well, it's not lame. It's just
I found it to be lame.
You've just got to figure stuff out. Did you both explore outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot out there at the moment, but there is a closed gate.
I
figured out how to
found the
get past that.
campsite. I found there was a shop. I went to the security room. I did the there's a closet or something where you got to switch some things off. I found
so
found
the fuse box.
the fuse box. I found a shop, and it was like, and I found a mound of dirt, but I couldn't afford a shovel.
Yeah.
So I can see some of the threads and some bits and bobs, but I suppose I was like expecting something a little bit more complicated. I don't know what it was. But
Well, it is. Well, that's the thing. It is more complicated.
I'm intrigued, but I'm like, I'm playing.
I mean, obviously, I don't
if-
want to say too much because you know.
if it wasn't for people talking about this game, I wouldn't play it again.
No,
I wouldn't.
no,
play
I
it
can
again.
understand that. I don't know. I don't know why I should feel disappointed. I just am a little disappointed. I don't know.
No,
I
when you said like, oh, do you know why certain doors are blocked? I thought that was obvious. Like, I just
yeah.
thought that was the most
Well, I
obvious
did,
thing,
but
like-
Duke obviously didn't. But it is.
Well, no, but I mean, I guess I did, but I could have sworn that I put a room down that didn't have anything near it that the doorway was blocked. Now, maybe I remember it wrong. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to what was where.
But that's such a huge part of playing the game because you've got to, you know, make sure the rooms you're putting down are lined up with each other.
Right. It
Yeah,
is
you
a
can't
room
always
arranging
help
game.
that though, can you? Because you get what.
No,
you're given
sometimes you don't get anything that can do that, you know, and sometimes you do. It all depends.
Sometimes you block
And
yourself
it's-
in and stuff like that. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And that's the nature of a roguelike. You got to start over.
Yeah, and to
And
be
that's
fair,
fine.
once you figure out that first mechanic, you can negate it more often. I guess.
Sure. I guess again, you and I both love The Room, Stu.
Yeah.
Right? That I think
And we
that
both
is
love Myst.
And we both love Myst. Those games for me are the gold standard of walking simulator meets puzzle game. And I was hoping that this would be kind of like that. And the fact that so much of the game relies on arranging the rooms in a careful order made me wonder if, you know, there was going to be more to it. And I mean, obviously, yeah, the thing with the boxes and the crank and, you know, exploring outside and stuff, like there is more to it than just arranging the rooms. But when I went looking for like hints to blueprints, I found a site from IGN that carefully avoids spoilers, but it has like 30 suggestions for how to play the game. And it says things like, it's not only important to know what to draft in terms of the rooms that you put down, but when.
Yeah.
The laboratory can be a frustrating dead end room, but if you keep ignoring finding a place for it early, there's an increasing chance of it showing up as one of your picks more often the further in you go. Elsewhere, it said, puzzle rooms like the billiards room and parlor can be attempted each day, but will only get harder the more times you solve them and may even probably supposed to be throw, new twists at you, making you work for each solve. And it just felt like what this website was telling me was that the intricacy of the process of, you know, putting down the rooms would only get more and more and more complicated to the point where if I was frustrated after day 3, I can only imagine where I would be after day 9 or something.
No, I don't think it is, because what I think you do is what you start learning is the patterns and how certain rooms link with other rooms and what their relationship is to each other. So I don't think that's necessarily true, because it's like anything. When you start learning something, you learn it. What it does a really good job of is teaching you in small chunks, because it obviously lets you, you know, gradually find your way through the maze of rooms to get where you need to go. But it does it in such a way that it's, you know, it sinks in. It builds those connections in your brain so the next time you do it, you know what you're doing with certain things, but maybe not with others, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I get that that's the learning curve, and every game needs a learning curve, and maybe I'm just not patient enough to pursue the learning curve of this game. But again, to give you just one more example from the IGN page, one of the items says, rooms with specific door placement won't be in your drafting pool if you draft from the wrong direction. For example, if you're facing the far western column of the estate, you can draft a west hall with its doors to the north and south, but a corridor with doors on both ends won't be a part of your pool. This can be very important if you're looking for space in your estate to try and get a specific room to appear in your draft. Like halfway through that paragraph, I was like, what? I'm way too confused to follow this hint page. And the idea of trying to master that in the game is just, I want beat the thing up till it dies type thing sometimes. Or like, here's this room with a whole bunch of like keyholes, you know, what the room does. Like you've got this box with a pyramid in it and you have to figure out how the different pieces of the pyramid, you know, the box puzzles with this one tells a lie and that one tells the truth or whatever. That's cute. I had fun with that. I just wish more of the game were like that.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If you played Myst today,
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah,
like
with
it?
no knowledge, with
Would you
no
like
knowledge
it?
of it.
It's a good question. I honestly don't know. It's very possible that the love I have for that game has everything to do with where I was,
The time and
the
the
fact
place.
that I was in my first year of college, time and place, my own disposition, which is why at the start of this discussion I said maybe the problem with this game is my disposition. It's possible that I went into it thinking the wrong things. But it's also possible that this is the type of game that's just not for me. So again,
mean-
not my cup of tea.
I mean, just put it into perspective here. I've had a look on Steam. I'm not reading the reviews like who's glowingly reviewing it, but just time played. You know, and the time played on the, vast majority of people who've hit 35 hours, 38 hours. Someone's played 122 hours of this game. Do you know what I mean? 30.3 hours, 27.1 hours, 22 hours, 72 hours. Meaning you're making it sound very superficial. You're just putting rooms down.
I don't
but
mean
there's
to make it
obviously
sound superficial.
No,
I
I'm
didn't-
just
that
saying
was
how
not
that's
my
come
intention.
across. That's how it's come
Okay.
across. But it's obviously a way. There's a lot more to it and a lot more depth than either you or I are currently aware of. Do you know? So
Well, I mean, but by that logic, I mean, look, there's people there's some idiots who have played like 5,000 hours of Rocket League. That doesn't necessarily speak to the
Idiots.
depth of that game. Idiots, pathetic losers with nothing else in their lives. So all I mean to say is, look, if you find this game fun, great, more power to you. I'm glad you're liking it. I really am. It's just not for me.
Yeah,
My,
I think
my thing is like, people are going, this is the game of the year. This is it. This is me now. This is what I do. This is up there with every game that's ever come out. And I'm like, I really okay. It's different. It's different.
It's different. And I
it's
think
unique.
it rewards being clever. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people who, like with the Stanley Terrible, found it to be on their wavelength.
Yep.
And as a result, they feel like,
smart.
oh, I'm getting this. Yeah. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's one of the reasons I like reading French literature from the 19th century. Like, I know that when I quote Shakespeare, I'm being a pretentious asshole. But
Yes.
part of that is like, I've worked hard to get good at understanding Shakespeare and, Zola and the rest of it. And so I want to kind of revel in that a little bit. And I do think that's part of Stanley Terrible, and maybe that's part of this too.
I just think this, I don't know, it speaks to people that criticize and analyze and make a living off talking about games.
I don't think
You
it
know,
does.
I
don't think it.
I don't know. I
don't
just
think
heard
it
a
does.
lot of people just go
It's
on
hard.
about it.
Yeah, but it's hard to say that when it's got so many positive reviews on Steam. So it isn't just the critics who are
We've
loving
talked
this
about
game.
Steam being
No.
mental.
But what I'm saying is, though, it's not just the critics who are loving this game. Because quite often there'll be critics who love a game and the players are like, "No, not for me." Do you know what I mean? And that is the case with you in this case, Duke. But there's 3,120 reviews, very positive. And, the vast majority of these people have played this game for fucking multiple hours and hours.
Look, I was expecting, when Balatro came out last year, everybody was like, Balatro, it's the bollocks. And then I played it, and instantly, I was like, oh my God, this is it. And I played this, and I know everybody I've heard talk about it, like, you need about 2-3 hours. And I'm like, I'm about 2 hours in now, and I'm still not getting it. Maybe if I played it for 10 more minutes too, it'll click. You know what I mean? But
Now, to be fair, just to put that idea of Steam reviews in context, I did a search for the top highest rated Steam games, and Steam itself came up with the Steam 250 list, which are the top 100 best Steam games of all time, according to Gamer Reviews, for the complete top 250 rankings. Visit this other website. And on this list are games like People Playground, which we've never heard of. It might be good, it might not. Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Oh, everyone loves that game.
Which is fine, but I mean, come on. Top of all time?
People love that game, though, don't they?
Bloons TD6. Right. All I'm saying is people can love a game and it could still not be objective. We're all going to agree that there's no such thing as objectively good games. But most people agree that Portal 2, which is also on this list, is a great game. I've never played Deep Rock Galactic, but I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about it. My only point is that just because a lot of people like a game doesn't mean that I'm duty bound to like it.
No. And I genuinely don't think you are. But I think what's kind of a surprise to me is knowing the type of puzzle games you like. I was quite shocked you don't like it. I suppose that's the be all and end all. I mean, there's a guy here on his review who's put it the best. I think he's put it into better words than I could have done. I think, which is put the key to really enjoying the game. I think is to remember that your progress is through your own knowledge. Early on, you'll encounter a note suggesting that you might want to take notes. Please follow that advice. There are a huge number of subtle details that can provide a great deal of information and guidance. And which I'm sure the game will be much more frustrating if you either aren't paying enough attention to notice them, or you're not writing them down, so you've forgotten about them later on when it turns out to be relevant. And I think that,
Well, all I can say about that is that I wrote down a bunch of stuff while I was playing. I took screenshots and put them in a folder and was like, all right, keep track of this, keep track of that. And after 3 days, I hadn't returned to any of them. And maybe I didn't keep going long enough to find out why the drawing of the blue bird with the hat on it is important, or why it's important that there were 6 clocks in the den. But
yeah,
here's the thing. For me, ultimately, if I give you an hour of my time, first of all, an hour of my time, I consider to be very precious. And I'm not commenting on anyone else's time, but an hour of my time is worth a great deal to me. And I know that's ridiculous to say when I blow so many hours on Rocket League, but there is a lot of joy that I get from Rocket League in amongst all the frustration with the angry, sour, toxic children. The point being that if I'm giving you 2 hours for 3 days of this game and I'm not really feeling it, again, I've given it a shot. I feel like I've given you a fair chance. And that's it. I'm moving on.
Yeah, fair enough. I think what's interesting for me is, obviously I played The Witness, and this game, although it appears to be, it isn't anywhere near as obtuse as that game. Do you know what I mean? From a sort of knowing what you're doing standpoint.
I've never played it, so I can't.
No,
I don't know.
It's very, very obtuse. But no, it's a huge thumbs up for me. I love it. I've already probably played
I don't even know
hours.
where to put the thumb on this one.
Yeah,
I'm thumbless.
absolutely love it.
So no thumb, no thumb.
thumbs.
I am
No
very much a thumbs down. So we don't have any. Not only do we not have a consensus, we don't even have a decision, because usually it's 2-1 and one or the other, or 3-1 way.
I can't place it because I could come back
Chinny
next week and
can't
go.
decide.
This is the greatest game I've ever played. Oh my god, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes that happens.
I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should.
So
keep
right now
playing
we're
it. I don't know.
undecided as a show.
Yeah,
We
It's
have
when the
very
list-
split opinions.
it's when the little things click with this game. In my
I'm
opinion.
waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Are you going to keep playing, Ginny?
Oh, so far it has been for me anyway.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But I play the game. I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Come on, game. Come on.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen. All right, so that's playing my game. Are we done with talking about video games, I guess? Or are we going
We are.
into emails?
I have got to play my game for next week.
Oh yeah, go on.
Oh yeah,
you
go
guys
on.
are interested. The full game of Crime Scene Cleaner is out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm up for that. I
so
like the demo.
I suppose we should play it. We played the demo.
Does it
I
have
think
a
we-
Does it have a demo or is it on?
We played it. No, it's a full game on.
You played the demo
Game
of
Pass.
this,
We
Chin?
played the demo.
Hello,
Game Pass.
McFly.
No, we
Yes.
just played the demo. It's on Game Pass.
No, we played the demo on Steam. Now the full
Now
game
it's
is on Game Pass.
It's
Yeah,
on Game Pass.
Right, got it.
Yes.
It's either that or GTA 5 because that's just been put back on.
No, we're not playing GTA 5. No.
We're not playing GTA 5. Crime Scene Cleaner. It's on Game Pass, people. Play it and tell us what you think through
Yeah.
email, perhaps. And now, back to emails. Laura up. Come on.
Whoa, that ruled.
So, ain't you guys gonna ask me about my hat?
Yeah, what about your hat? Okay, so the second email, because we've already done one in between what we've been playing, is from Jason. He says, Happy Easters.
Yes, happy
Jesus.
Jesus Rebirth Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Good old
Uh,
Jesus.
In the news this week, keep your eyes on Nintendo and GameStop. Easter eggs dropping soon. High hopes, but I'm not a rabbit. More news. I think that's meant to be news. News. Oblivion in your face. So,
I
So
think
there's-
that might refer to the Oblivion remaster that's coming out.
yeah,
soon.
that's coming out, which is probably not going to be as good as Sky
Yawn.
Oblivion. Well, do you think it'll be as good as Sky Oblivion that they've been making for bumpteen years?
Well, okay, first of all, I don't have this obsessive need to go back to Oblivion that some people seem to have.
Yeah.
I find that a remaster of Oblivion is probably not going to be worthwhile because the mechanics in Oblivion were the problem, not the graphics. And so doing a graphics overhaul isn't going to make me want to play it again. And Sky Oblivion, maybe I'll play it someday. I don't know.
It's not out yet.
It's just not-
it's
I
still
just
not
look
out.
know,
forward
but
to
I'm saying,
hear
like-
how are they gonna ruin it. Do you know what I mean? Like, how are they gonna
Yeah,
ruin
well.
it? Every
So-
remaster I hear, I go, I wonder how they're gonna ruin this one.
So is this right? Here's a question. So is this going to be a GTA 3 level or GTA San Andreas level of remaster, or is this going to be a Resident Evil 2 standard of remaster? What do we reckon?
Well, that was a remake.
Like, you mean a total overhaul?
Yeah. So is it a total overhaul,
I
or
don't
is it
think that-
just
no, I don't think this is not a
very
total overhaul.
superficial? Actually,
I
just
think it's a
looks
very
the
superficial
same.
thing, yeah. Well,
Yeah, remaster.
it'll be shinier and look better.
Remaster is what I think what Duke thinks it's going to be. A remake is what Resident Evil 2 is, where they just basically
This is,
like.
I cannot imagine this is going to be a remake.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy if it were, because I wouldn't mind going back to Oblivion with new mechanics. But you know, the magic just coming out of your torso, it's not great.
No.
Is that what happens?
That's what happened in Oblivion. There is such a significant advance in the gameplay between Oblivion and Skyrim that I think going back to Oblivion now would just be a nightmare.
I don't know. Yeah. What about
Is there
you,
more
Stu?
of Jason's email?
Yeah,
Oh,
you-
go ahead.
Yes, there is. He says, "Pigs in space. I had this
Pigs in
lunchbox as a kid.
Yeah,
Baby,
classic.
you're a firework, but stay off the Botox." So I think he's talking about Katy Perry going up in space in Elon
yeah.
Musk's
Oh yeah, that's
top
right.
rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were apparently like singing "What a Wonderful World," and it's like, you know what? I'm sorry, it just doesn't land for me. Like,
They didn't
Ah, I
go
see
to
what you did there.
space. They made space.
They
Quote
did.
Katy
They
Perry.
did.
what?
That's what she said.
Oh, because it's women. Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, I saw a funny TikTok about this where it's like a cartoon drawing, and it was like, we're struggling to pay the bills. You know, like maybe if you do a few more shifts, and you know, I do a few extra things, and we cut down on some stuff for the baby, we'll.
And sure, women went into
you-
space.
And then they just outside their window, they can see a rocket taking off, and they go, "Wait, what's that?" Oh, it's Katy Perry. Oh, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, well, she can only do so much. There's a role for, symbolic actions, but this ain't it for me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got Elon Musk involved as well. So yeah,
Don't get me started on Elon Musk.
exactly. Winterboro, an upcoming game made for Duke.
I don't know. People keep promising me things. But he was right about South of Midnight. So
When will
you know,
people
maybe.
learn that Duke doesn't like new things?
No, he doesn't.
It's like in Higher Learning when Ice Cube is getting his picture taken. He's goofing around with his friends. He's laughing. He's smiling. And then the guy goes, "Give us a big smile now." And he immediately turns his face to stone. Like,
Yep.
that's me. You tell me to like something, I'm going to hate it out of spite.
Yep.
Well, this might appeal because you're a mouse that knits sweaters.
What?
That's a part of the game. Apparently, you're a mouse.
So now I wonder, what is it about me that makes me think he thinks I would like a game where you're a mouse that knits sweaters? Because I do cross stitch?
It's not that. It's he likes the game and he wants you to like the game.
Well, I understand that impulse, but that ain't always how it works, man.
Yeah. Wheel World. Though Chinny may think it's not for him, he's gonna love it. I'm sure
You
of
heard
it.
of any of these?
No.
Well, not Duke, no bike for you. No, Wheel World. That was one of the next.
Oh, isn't this the one
demos.
we played?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both liked this. Are you
Yeah.
listening to us, Jason? Hello.
Yeah, Wheel
McFly. Yeah, we both liked it. I liked it. In
Oh, yeah,
fact,
I
I
did
was
like
ready to hate that game, and then I ended up liking it.
Yeah, I like that one.
So you're wrong, Jason. I'm sorry. I hate
No,
to break it to
he's
you.
wrong. Andy's
Maybe,
right.
maybe Jason doesn't listen
Well.
to the show. He just emails every week.
Maybe he doesn't
Yeah, I
what?
think it is. Maybe, yeah,
Get it? I'm
exactly.
pretending like I don't
Know what you
listen.
do. Blippo Plus, when she wasn't raving about how shit Slay the Spire 2 is, he'll be on about this one. Blippo Plus is made from the Thank Goodness You Farted game devs. I didn't know they had anything new coming
Oh,
out.
really?
So yeah, Blippo Plus. Never heard of it, so I'll keep an eye out.
Well, the developer's Blippo Plus, and I guess they did make Thank God You're Here. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Oh no, it's Panic. Well, that's the publisher is Panic. Anyway. It says, never bland and non-demand. You simply can't find television like this anywhere else. Change the way you channel with Blippo Plus coming soon. That tells us nothing.
It's a live action, like a, what do you call it? Full motion video.
FMV. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind
Well,
of
the last one I played of those was amazing. So you know.
Well, yeah.
So yeah.
I need to know more.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Stu.
But I'll be honest. No, go ahead.
No, go. No, it's fine. Go on.
Well, he says, the game says, the Steam page says, this game features philosophical discussions of death and descriptions, not depictions, of macabre situations. The last game I played that promised me philosophical discussions of death was a piece of turd. What was that last week? Oh my God, Peppered, an existential platformer.
Oh, wow.
So the sign in my classroom says I'm not cynical. I've been taking notes. So just, I'm not saying Blippo Plus is going to be bad. I got my hackles up. That's all.
You got your hackles up.
I got my hackles up.
Well, I can't blame you. You know what I mean? That's how you are.
Did you hear that Katy Perry went to space though? I don't know what.
I don't know. Was it in a cock rocket?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what it looked like.
I understand what you meant by cock rockets too. I got it.
Did you get the cock
Slow
rocket
down.
thing?
I got it.
Wait. I think we need to spend some more time
I
discussing.
understand the irony of a bunch of women going in a rocket that looked like
Yeah.
a massive penis. I understand that.
Looks like a cock rocket. Yeah, so I don't know. Full motion video. Immortality was amazing, which neither of you two have played yet. So, which I'm
Nope.
quite disappointed with. But what are you gonna
That's
do?
the name of this episode. Stu's disappointed.
I'm disappointed. Yeah, I might go with that. I like that.
I've been playing Avowed for 16 months.
And he's disappointed at you for doing that.
Yeah.
How long did you play Atomfall, you motherfucker?
Yeah, motherfucker.
And
Immortality.
do you think about whether you're going to be disappointing Stuart or not when you sit down to play a game? I don't think you are, Chinny.
By the way, Immortality came out in 2022, so you've had 3 years to play it.
Had 3 years, you son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
schmuck.
Schmuck
Don't
face
give me no
bitch.
avowed bollocks.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Stu, I
Not
purchased.
too busy for Avowed, apparently.
Stu, I purchased your Game of the Years. The cartoon-looking platform. Also, until whatever the text game, be ranting soon. No, you won't, because they're fucking great.
What is he talking about?
Until then.
Oh, right.
So he's got until then
Yes.
to play.
Okay.
You're not going to be disappointed, my man Jason. You are going to.
Hey, if you like
love this
Pentiment,
game.
I think you're going to like Until Then.
You're gonna
It feels like
fucking
they're pretty
love it.
similar.
Yeah, you're gonna love Until Then. It's
Now, here's the
Demon
thing, Stu. Here's
D.
the thing, though, Stu. It may be that the more you lean into the "you're gonna love it" thing, maybe your disappointment's gonna be greater if the person doesn't end up loving it. It may be that those two things are connected. So maybe you got to say, "I hope you like it, Jason," and leave it there. I don't know.
He's not gonna like it.
Okay.
He's gonna love it.
Gonna love it, and if he doesn't,
gonna
he's a
love it.
fucking asshole, and we're
Yeah,
gonna
he
kill him.
is. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Schmuck. No, he's not, because I
Schmuck
know.
face ass bitch.
But I know he's gonna love it, so I know he's not gonna
Okay.
be that person.
Okay.
Okay. At that point, we have got one speak pipe to do, so let's do that.
I don't want no part of your tight-ass country club, you freak bitch!
Speak
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message
it's
for
crap.
us.
I gotta be honest. After that blue screen, I'm like, every time I click anything, I'm like, don't click too fast. You don't want to
Take
accident.
your
Yeah, who
time.
knows what causes it? You know what
No,
I
it
mean?
is weird.
The glitch in the matrix.
Anyway, the universe said he's not stressed enough. He needs more stuff. Ha ha! Take this. All right, this week's Speak Pipe is number 752, and it comes from Saint Diesel. The title is "Not of This Earth?" ? Now that's funny that you say that, because I did a song once upon a time called "Not of This Earth" because a friend of mine, Shay, what up, Shay? I had a tape recorder, and I went around recording all my friends saying things, and she said, "We have discovered a sample that is not of this earth." And I made that the hook of the song. So maybe Saint Diesel found that track from 1995 and is referencing it here. Probably not, but maybe. If he doesn't, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Take your protein pills.
and put your helmet on.
This Bowie?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Electric
that's
Gamers,
St.
St.
Diesel
Rock
doing
again.
Bowie, I think.
I'm sure
Well, no,
you were
I-
all
that's
inspired this week by the tale of the 7 women who were sent
Again
into
with
space
this
and got
women?
back down again safely. I did see some unkind comments online about allowing Katy Perry back down to Earth, but we'll ignore those for the moment. But I've got a little scenario for you all, and we'll assume for this scenario that there's no health issues, that you're all fit enough to accept this little challenge if you so choose. So here it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be another space flight, and that will be for 7 men.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 of those men will be the veteran gamers.
Mm-hmm.
And you're allowed to take one male companion with you. Could be a friend, a family member, a famous person you've never met before, but you think would be cool to hang out with. And the only condition is that the 7th man is going to be Elon Musk.
Nope.
And I'm sure there'll be no thoughts about throwing him out of the airlock, anything like that.
No, I'm jumping out the airlock.
So, questions: would you accept such an offer? And if so, who would you take with you? Is space the place for you? Would you like to have your tiny little mind blown by the universe? Or do you like it so much down here on Earth, you'd rather give it a miss? So that's it for this week.
You know what? In the course of listening to the full speak pipe, I've changed my opinion. There are some conditions, however. If I can demand that Elon Musk bring his chainsaw, then I would say yes, I will go on this mission. And my male companion is anybody strong and fast enough to subdue Elon Musk, so I can take his chainsaw from him and use it against him in order to vivisect him.
Imagine the mess in 0G.
Yeah,
That's fine. It's worth it. It's worth it to the rest of humanity.
I'm having a beautiful moment looking at the Earth. And
In
you're
a
like, oh, God,
confined
there's blood
space.
everywhere.
Guess what? Hey, worth it.
I don't think it is.
It's worth it to me.
You
If
know,
you want to try to take the chainsaw from me, go ahead. But I have a chainsaw and a friend who's very fast and strong.
I'm quite shocked. That you
Try
do.
to take it.
I'm quite
Okay.
shocked.
Are you disappointed?
A little bit, because being a
Okay.
vegetarian and you
Yeah.
know, fighting for people's rights and freedoms and stuff.
Yes,
and
this would do a
obviously-
lot to fight for people's rights. Would you kill Hitler?
And having a big moral compass, I'm surprised that you would want to murder someone.
I don't actually want to murder someone. This
Well,
is a
you just
hypothetical
did
situation
well,
in
you're
response
pretty
to a little
vehement.
fantastical speak pipe.
Yeah, this isn't a real invite, Stu.
It isn't really bad, but Duke was giving the impression that given half the chance,
I thought it would be a funny thing to say. I don't
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
want to vivisect
Would
Elon
you
Musk.
kill?
To be clear,
Would you kill baby Hitler?
would you kill baby Hitler?
I don't know, because at that
Yeah,
point you don't
the
know
answer
what
is
he's
yes.
going to do.
That's
What about
Yeah,
adult
I
Hitler?
No,
I'd-
no.
If
No,
in
I'd kill-
1935 you could find Hitler and kill him, would you? Yes or no?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I suppose I would.
I mean, look, I'm not trying to compare Elon Musk to Hitler. Obviously, there's no question that Elon Musk is worse than Hitler. But that said, joke again, get
It's a
it?
joke. These are jokes.
Although I'm
joke.
going to be totally honest here, I don't know whether the cutting the head off the snake scenario with Hitler.
Well, you're right. It would only do so much.
It
But
would have made
my
you
hope
know, he had a
is-
lot of heinous generals underneath him, didn't he?
Yes, you're right.
So,
So
whether it would
it's
have
not.
made that
That's
much of a
why we
difference
can't
would
just
be
go. That's why
negligible.
Luigi Mangione didn't really do anything. He just did a murder, and murder's not good. We have to actually fight for medical care for people in the United States, and killing one CEO didn't do anything.
No, it didn't make any difference.
I agree with you. That's a good point. Now, moving on.
Who
Would
would I
y'all
take?
take this offer? Who would you take?
Yeah, I'd take the offer.
Yeah,
Who would I take? I'd probably just take my dad, even though he can't see very well, but
Nice.
he could. He loves space.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like,
You'd like to smell it.
my dad's 81. I was like, you know, if the flight doesn't go well, you know, he's fine. I mean, I'm going with him.
That's a rather weird place to
That's
jump
one
to.
way of looking
what I'm
at it.
saying,
Assume it would all go fine.
No. Like,
Would
what
he
I mean,
enjoy it? Would that be a highlight of his life? to
What
you?
I mean, like, is like, you know, if he was to be sick or you know going through that process, like, because
Right.
being older,
I thought,
withstanding.
I'll be honest. I thought you meant if the spaceship blew up,
No.
it wouldn't matter so much because he was 81.
No,
was
no,
the
no.
impression I
No,
got.
because it would matter because I'm in it, right?
Well, yeah, that's why I thought it was a bit of a weird comment.
No,
It's
no.
one
What I
thing for
mean
my
is,
dad to die, but, you
what
know,
I
I'm
mean
there
is
too.
like him being older, he might be a little bit more delicate, I suppose, than
Yeah,
other
sure,
people.
sure.
But he might be
I
fine.
gotcha.
And I'd say, look, Dad, But when you're going to get the chance to do this, it's going to be one of the greatest moments of your life. You love space. You're always banging on about it. There's loads of it,
Yeah.
and you've never even been.
Now it's time to see if it's as good in real life
And
as it makes
you might
it
not
look
be able
in
to
Star Wars.
see it very well, but you'll be in zero G. How mad would that be, Dad? And he'd be like, yeah.
You can feel the space.
That sounds good. So I'd take my dad.
Yep.
I'd just sort of ignore Elon, sort of like kind of like the weird.
You
kid
think
in
you
the
could
room.
ignore Elon?
Yeah, it'd be like the weird kid in the room, and he's like, I'm like, whatever, Elon. Yeah, I'm not looking out the window.
I don't
mate.
know, Chinny. It seems like it would be really hard to ignore him.
I would ignore him.
I mean, you can't ignore me right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, Stu.
And I'm trying to not interrupt you.
Yeah, good point.
It's
Stu.
hard to not interrupt you because I'm good at interrupting people.
Well, we know that.
If you can't ignore me, how are you going to ignore Elon?
Exactly.
He's fine. He's just a weird nerd, isn't he?
Oh, he's not fine. He's really unwell. He's got huge
No,
problems.
he's mental, but like if you stuck in a
He's
room
harm-
with him,
he's
Oh,
harmless.
that's an
isn't he,
insult to
really?
mental people.
He's harmless. really.
he's
Okay,
trying to
now
get a
you're just
rise.
trying to get-
Yeah.
You know, that's okay.
But,
Are you trying to get
uh,
a rise out of me, Agent Kuyan?
Absolutely not.
But no, like, if I was in the room with him, I reckon I could just ignore him. Yeah, like,
You have more moral fortitude than I do, then. I know I could not ignore him.
No,
Out of
you could-
principle, out of pure principle. He is destroying the Department of Education. I'm a teacher. How do I not punch him in the face?
See, Duke keeps coming back to violence. He said he's not a violent man, but
I would not
yeah.
actually punch him in the face. It's a joke. Again.
Well, no, would you
would it
though?
be acceptable with you, Stuart,
Is
if I
it, though?
slapped him?
I don't
Dude,
feel like it is a joke.
Dude, if you if you were trapped in a space pod with him though, what would you do?
Yeah, what would
I
you
would
do?
try to talk to him and appeal to his sense of empathy.
What when
If
he
there
kept
is
telling you
anymore.
to fuck off? He's
I
like,
reckon.
fuck off.
I reckon it.
Well, then I would say, okay, look, I'm going to pull out
Punch you
the
in the
guidance
face.
system. I'm going to pull out the guidance system so you and I do not go back to Earth. And it sucks for me not to go back, but it's worth it to keep you from going back.
So you're
Is that acceptable
inadvertently-
to you?
Well, you're still murdering him, aren't you? Eventually, because if there's no guidance system and no way to get back to Earth, you're both eventually gonna die.
This
So
is
it's still
all
murder.
meaningless hypotheticals.
It's murder, though.
and
We just keep coming back to murdering him, don't we?
It's almost as though I have a homicidal dislike of the man
I
because of
know.
all the horrible things he's done to deprive starving people in the Sudan of life-saving food. Maybe we should talk about that actual real life ending of life, which
But
seems a little more urgent.
But does he deserve to be murdered?
Do the people in Sudan deserve to die because of what Elon Musk is doing? That's the question I want to ask. Because I think the answer to that is no.
Are they
But then
on the
equally-
spaceship
That's
with us,
just me.
or
That's
Yeah,
just
they're-
me.
I'm confused now.
That's just me.
Okay.
Are they
so
on the spaceship?
who would you take to space, Stu?
Uh,
Stu, who would you take to space?
Stu, who would you take to space?
Stu.
Oh, can you not hear us, Agal?
yeah,
You can't hear us.
No, I can't hear you. It did go off for a second there.
Who would you take
Who
to
would you
space?
take into space?
I would probably take Millie
Oh.
because I feel like
Male companion.
it doesn't.
Why's he got to be male?
Why's
Would
it
you
gotta
like me
be
to
male?
play it again?
No, I'm
That's
not
the
bothered.
speak pipe.
I don't care what he said. I'll take who I want.
Oh,
Why have you got to be a male companion?
Yeah,
oh,
why's it
because
gotta
it's
be
like
male?
a...
the speak pipe said. you want me to play it again?
No,
Oh.
don't play it again.
Derek
No,
said.
don't play it again. It's fine. We take your
I'm
word
guessing it's
for it.
male
I
because
don't
it's
need
like an
evidence or
all-male
proof.
Derek
crap.
said. Derek said. You can take any male companion you want, and Elon will be there too.
I'm gonna still take Millie.
Just disguise her as a man.
Yeah, I'll just paint a beard on her face. It'll be fine.
I don't know. Elon Musk seems to have a thing about not accepting people's gender identity as expressed.
Exactly.
So
So
might not
it's
get away with it.
fine.
So let's
it's fine.
murder him.
Yeah, let's murder him with some way with an axe or I don't know, chainsaw.
now you're talking my language.
Yeah, I
Except
think
only
because I think
hypothetically and only for the purposes of humor.
she'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think she would appreciate. And I love space. I love
Yeah.
space. So I ain't
Now here's the question.
hesitating.
Here's the question. If you found space cuisine out there, would she appreciate that, or would she be like, "Where's the
Where's
McDonald's?"
the Mackies? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably true. She'd be looking for the
Yeah.
Mackies.
Where's Space Mackies?
That's
Can I-
what would be
Can
happening.
I have the McSpace
yeah.
meal, please?
Yeah,
I would like one McSpace.
McSpace.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
on the Futurama when they go to the moon theme park.
Mm,
There you go.
yeah.
So that's it.
Sailors on the moon. That's
that's
it,
it.
people. It's time
That's
for
it.
shout outs, and then we can
It
get the
is.
hell out
It is.
of
It is.
here.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Shout out. So I'm going to shout out John Collins, because I I'm not sorry to him, but I am sorry that I offended him. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I offended you, John. There was no intention. It was just a joke. It was a little joke.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shout out Hear This, which is where I'm posting my mixes now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Because
Hear this.
Because it is a far better platform than Mixcloud.
Why?
Because they promote your music better in your mixes. I'm getting a lot more listeners. I think the app's better and it's slicker. They allow you to download tracks. So if you wanted to just download my track, you can do. You know, you don't have to be a subscriber and any of that bollocks or pay for it. Mixcloud had this limit, so you can only play someone's mix 6 times in a month or something.
I
If
like
you wanted
that
to
shit.
play it more than once, whereas this is completely unlimited. You don't, and as a listener, you don't have to pay anything.
Well, I'll look forward to when they
Nice.
ruin it.
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's been going for a long time though. This, so I
Oh,
can't
okay.
imagine that much is going to change.
We'll see.
And it's a lot
So
more
had
reasonably
Twitter.
priced. It's a lot more reasonably priced.
Yeah.
So they do a much better
What's
thing.
the name of it again?
Hear This.
Hear
Hear
This.
This.
Okay.
Hear this. DJ Reflow. Check it out,
And
people.
Hear This.
Yeah.
I
And
think
yeah,
No Clue was a better name, by the way. But whatever.
Nah, I prefer to hear. I
Nah,
prefer the reflow now.
Reflow.
Yeah, it's done.
Shut up, Chinny.
Too late. It's done. Yeah, so it's good. So props to them, and I feel like the other big difference is on Mixcloud, you would get a lot of other DJs following you just so you would follow them, but they would never really
yeah.
listen.
That's
to
right.
anything.
Just like Wattpad, you get readers, but it's just
Yeah.
people thirsty for readers.
And the other social platform that I use, Flumflap. They just
Oh yeah.
Flumflap is okay, but Gadzorp is the one.
I use Gadzorp.
they're always scrimping you and you scrimp them back, and then you never get the real clubs.
See, I think you think you're making that up, but scrimp is a real word, so you messed up by using a real English word
Yeah,
there,
you
you
did.
schmuck. So
Whereas most of the people who've followed me, I only have 6 followers, by the way. So it's
but they're real followers, not bots.
Yeah, the people who have followed me because they've listened to one of my tracks.
I've already forgot the name of the app. Let me download it. Hold on, what is
Hear
it?
this.
Hear this.
Hear this.
Can you hear this, Chinny? Hear this.
This.at.
Now hear this. HEERTHIZ.
You don't need to spell it. I'm not.
No, it's actually H-E-A-R.
Well, I spelled it wrong as a joke. It's not about you, Chinny. It's about me making
Yeah.
jokes.
It's about him making jokes.
grandma be tripping.
Hear this.
Hear this.
Dot at.
HQFGHIML.
Yeah.
It's got 2-star review on the App Store. This app.
Oh, I quite like the app. I think it's pretty good. I don't know why.
Well, we
that
all
one-
know how well you can trust reviews online.
Well, it works pretty well
Oh wait,
for
no,
me.
no. Reviews online are awesome. I can't keep it
It
keep it
works
straight.
pretty well for me.
All right, while Chinny is doing his looking up of stuff on his phone, I will do my shout outs, which
Go
go
on, do your
to
shout outs.
Antonio and Amar.
Oh, and Dan.
And Amar.
Shout out Dan, by the way. Don't forget Dan.
I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
No, I forgot
Amar
Dan. Forgot about
was.
Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
You
Shout
forgot
out
about
to
Dan.
Amar.
Yeah, don't forget Dan. He's having a baby.
I'm having more homicidal thoughts right now.
Yeah, no.
He'll be going.
What
"I've got
about
a
Dan?
baby.
What have you got against Dan?
Got a baby.
All right, come on, Duke. Get on with the
Sorry.
show. Come on, professional.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Amar at one point said, "We're up, homeboys," and I hope he's still here because I want him to know that I'm thinking of maybe getting a Switch too.
What?
No, just kidding. I wanted Amar to think maybe he had gotten through to me. But he did send me a very fun ad that had Paul Rudd in it and also Boyle, Charles Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, as well as I think he's a writer on the Colbert Show. I think he's been on a few spots on Colbert Show. Anyway, it was a fun ad. I'm not getting a Switch 2. There's no reason for me to have a mobile gaming system. I just, Block Blast is already ruining things. Anyway, also a shout out to Nostalgia64, who's someone who looked me up on Blue Sky and said, I've just started playing New World, but I'm very nervous about playing MMOs. And do you have any tips? And I'm like, yeah, I got tips, but rather than just me giving you tips, why don't we play together? You should find me on Discord. And they said, yes, I will find you on Discord. And I don't believe they have found me on Discord, but yeah. Anyway, so shout out to Nostalgia64 and Antonio for the Rocket League games. What? Let's play some more soon because it's fun. And it's a lot less stressful when you have someone cool on your team, not only because you don't have a teammate griefing you and going, idle and own goaling and calling you horrible racist names, but if the people on the other team are sour children, it's easier to not care when you have someone cool on your team. So I really appreciate Antonio. And I'm sorry because I'm kind of reinfecting him. We played a few games and then the next day he was like, thanks a lot, Duke. Now I'm playing Rocket League again. And then he had like some really toxic teammates and he was like, all right, never mind. I'm not playing this shit unless it's with you. So I don't want to bring him back into this world of miserable, toxic, random teammates. And maybe it's good for me to be like, I'm only going to play with Antonio because then the experience is just all around more fun.
Well,
all right, Chinny.
I tried to make an account on here, and it won't work. It says error, so whack.
Well, you can just play it on the web, can't you? Just
no,
go
I
on the
can't
web.
find it without making an account. I can't find his thing.
Well, I did a search for Reflow No Clue, and it showed up right here,
I'm
and I
talking
got
about on
this
the
here,
app,
Best of
on
Melodic House
the-
Part 1.
On the
There you
app,
go.
on the app, I can't search for
On
a
the
name without making an account.
Yeah, well, here's something you can listen to.
No, don't play that, man.
Whoa. Jesus.
It's half a second. You're the one who
Doesn't
put the mix up.
matter.
I couldn't not listen to your infectious jams, Stu.
It's not
It's
about,
your fault.
Oh my
It is
God.
about that.
So, what I'm saying, I'm trying to give Stu some feedback.
Just say you're disappointed in him and
constructive
move
feedback.
on.
No, it's just like if I'm going to search on the app, I'm not going to use a browser. I have to make an account. I can't make an account. It gave me an error.
I just made it through Google.
The app is whack.
Just do it through Google. Don't.
That's why it's
try
got
to do it
2-star
manually.
reviews.
I have a very
You're gonna
limited
give another 2-star
attention
review.
span, and it's already lost me. So,
What? Using your Google account to sign into an app is
Yeah.
too
Wow.
complicated for you, Chinny?
Yes.
Yeah, who knows?
Wow.
Wow.
Ugh,
No, you
who
can't
knew?
use your Google account. You
Wow.
can only use your Facebook, and I don't do it on Facebook. So
Oh, you see,
on
I
the
did
app.
it. I
On
did
the
it. I
app.
set
Stu said
mine
he
up
used his Google
online.
account.
On
I
the
did it
app,
online though.
on the app.
But it let me
On the
sign
web.
in on the app with Google, so which is a bit
I don't
weird.
know what to tell you.
I don't know.
Well, I guess I have to be the third party to figure it out now. Jesus Christ, like I don't have enough to do.
Right. Anyway.
No one's asking you to do it. Dude.
No, we're not. We're not.
It's not the point.
Oh
Stay
God.
up to date with notifications. Fuck up App Store notifications. Why on earth would I want notifications from the App Store? Hey, there's a game you might want to play. No.
By the way, that might be due to the fact that you're on Apple. So it might.
Of course
'cause
it's
I
on
am an
Apple. Oh, because he's
No.
on Apple?
Yeah, because I'm on Android. Obviously, it lets you sign in with Google.
It's 3
Whereas
stars out of
Apple-
5 right now, Chinny. Come on.
Whereas Apple are a bit more strict on shit like that, aren't they?
Ah,
Well,
Don't
we'll
want to
find
promote
out.
anything Google.
I'm just telling you what's
Yeah, I
happening.
can be
Yeah.
that third voice.
Yeah, it's probably what
Now
it is.
you want me to download it.
Probably what it is. Right, on that note, people, we do need to get the hell out of here. So thank you for listening, everybody.
Yeah, now fuck off, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, good night, much love.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Why don't you? Why don't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sitting at home, watch TV, hurry up, slow good to me.
That is not me doing those clicks and shit.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, so I'm on the app now, and I will point out that at the bottom it says skip login.
I did
so did you
that.
think about skipping?
I did that.
Okay, what happens?
Try and search
Skip
for him when you
login.
skip login. Now
Popular news, genres,
Let's try and find
discover,
him through that.
filters. Whoops, that's App Store. I don't want to do that. Did you already try this and I'm going to make myself look like an idiot?
Yes.
All genres, popular, new, offline search, reflow.
I didn't find
Search.
that. I didn't find
Best
that.
of Melodic House Part 2. What the fuck is wrong with you,
What is
Chinny?
wrong with you, Chinny?
Are you stupid or something? On
Yes.
on the left side of the screen, top left, there's these 3 lines. Some people call it the
Yeah, I clicked
hamburger.
those.
What's on that when you look at it? Because I see feed, likes, discover, sets, offline, search,
Oh yeah.
and then there's a button that says more.
Oh, yeah,
Now maybe
fine.
I'm just a simple country guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know enough to appreciate good games like Avowed. But it seems to me like you can use this just fine without. And in fact, let me play some of this DJ
No.
Reflow.
No.
play it. I don't care.
Well, it's too late now. The whole show's worthless, right? Because of that half a second of song that I played.
I didn't even get a shout out.
Speaking of
I
which,
didn't even get a shout out.
You were too busy kvetching about the app.
By the way, I got an email off Spotify this week.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, is it
saying
about sexy ladies?
No, it said
Stop
20 of
calling
your
John Joan. Did it say?
20 of your episodes contain copyrightable music.
Yeah, we
Oh,
know.
sweet.
We know.
That we're
Here
reviewing.
comes 21.
Well, there'll be more, but I think that's the only ones they've found so far.
Did you email them back and say we know? Shut up.
I went, fuck off.
Stop telling us things we know, you
No,
fuck.
I emailed them back because you had to like look at them all and then say the reason for the copyrightable music in them. So I put it was because of parody something or something. There was about 3
Yeah,
things.
it was us singing it.
I'm like, yeah, that'll be fine. And I just clicked on that for all of them. So whether they'll stay up on Spotify is anyone's guess.
You know what? Look, that'll be even more fun if people go look and they're like, wait a minute, why isn't episode 437 here? There's 436 and 438.
They were all quite old.
And then they're going to have to email us in and go, how do I hear 437?
One of the sad ones, though, Duke, was Confessions of a Video Game Addict. That special one you did.
Well, you know what? I rewrote that for the book that I'm trying to put together. And so someday I'll do a new audio version of that. And then fucking Spotify can suck my ass.
Yeah.
Because it'll be available on ribonucleicrecords.com/new stuff /audio/mp3 /
Have you thought about doing a Substack, Duke?
I have, but I don't know what the benefit of that is compared to WordPress, compared to Wattpad, compared to Medium. There's too many fucking platforms. Pick one and let me get established on there.
I don't know.
It's what writers use. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. People make money off it, so I don't need to make money, so I'm not trying to use Substack.
And
I'm
that's
sticking
your
with
problem.
WordPress. And I had a student who sent me she handed me, we had these forms that say, I want an answer. Nobody's filled them out for 10 years. She and her friend are filling them out every goddamn day. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm so appreciative of this student, who's also in Amnesty, by the way. Shout out to Amelia. But she put a note that said one of the links on your website is down. And I was like, you're going to have to be more specific, man. I got like 20 websites and half of them are filled with broken links. And so she pulled it up on her phone and was like, look. I'm like, okay, first of all, you found my home, like my personal webpage with links to the stuff I've written, the videos I've made, music. I hope you didn't listen to any of that music, because a lot of it's not for kids. And then there's the thing that's like a blog, and that's been broken since as long as the VG Hub or the Veteran Gamers website's been broken. How long has our site been down?
A long time.
Long time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that, and I'm like, oh, this you don't want to read. And actually, there's some stuff worth reading on there, but not much of it. So it's no big loss that you can't get to that. But I'm both weirded out and flattered that students are interested in looking at that stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It is a bit weird.
Jenny, do you want me to, I guess, Stu, I could ask you too, should I try to cobble together the audio since it stopped recording when my PC froze, or do you just want to pull it off of YouTube?
I never thought about that.
No, well, I think the best thing to do is leave it, and then I'll just send Stu.
Yeah, you need to convert it to an MP3 first.
I mean, I can do that if you want, but if you want to do it, that's fine.
No, because we read out an email when you were gone, so you haven't.
Yeah,
I know. So you're going to just pull the audio off of YouTube then?
No, I've recorded it.
He's got it from the Zoom.
Okay, so you're just going to send him the audio.
Yeah, just send me
that
the
you've
Zoom.
taken. So I don't need to do anything, is what you're saying. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, don't do anything.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hopefully it won't happen again next week. I wish I knew what caused it. So I mean, what I can do next time is restart my computer right before the show to minimize the likelihood and try to not do anything that's not.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. Weirdly, never even thought about
that.
But yeah, Chinny, you can just convert it to an MP3 and send it.
What am I recording this shit for?
I don't know.
But you're still on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, guys, I've got to go.
Okay.
All right, peace out, man.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Have an excellent week.
Have a good busy week.
And I will see you next. Oh, I'll speak to you and see you next Sunday.
Yeah, you will, but not the Sunday after that.
No, the Sunday after that. See you then.
All right, see you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.